Let's rock it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ronitar, and welcome once again to our lovely little streams. Today, we are once again previewing my game, Symphony of Broken Souls, Overture. And I'm not doing it alone. Today, joining me are two members of the editing team. Say hello, my friends.
Hello. What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody.
So today we have Jessica Elalouf, vocalist and editor for Symphony. And we also have Alex, one of the editors for Symphony. And also the one that has been teaching me, Luis, beware of the fanfiction writers.
I've just been giving some pointers, that's all.
Just a few. I just want to make sure also with the audio, how are we coming in? Can you guys hear me, the game, Jessica and Alex well? While I see that, I just want to say hello to everybody in chat. I see Saturn, I see Pita, I see Caitlin, I see Thini, I see a new member in the chat. I see Dank McGrank, which, by the way, thank you for joining. I saw your alert, so I'm going to play it now for you.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Also, shoutouts to Phantom Killer Eagle, who also joined the crew. And also Cast W Art. So just playing your notifications if you guys joined while I was off stream. But thank you guys for joining.
Fate is turning.
So yeah. Okay, so I'm hearing that audio is good. That's good to hear. Users in chat. All right, seems like the crew is here. So
the wheel of fate is turning.
that one was delayed. Okay. So yeah, today we're just gonna be going through the second half of chapter 1. For those who were here last time we streamed was me and Jessica going through the first half of chapter 1 for build 0.15, I want to say it was. Now we're in version 0.18. So chapter 1 is almost done. We're not fully complete yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Just finishing up some pieces here and there. So yeah, chapter 1 will not be the demo, but this stream will be to give you guys an idea of what the game's gonna be like. Jessica, Alex, anything you guys want to say before we go in?
I just want to say I've been a part of this for so long at this point, and it's so cool and so rewarding to see how it's developed over time, because it's been like a year since the last stream. And just to see where it is now is like really, really awesome. Like, I just want to say I love being a part of this.
Okay, you had to hit me in the feelies with that one. Gotcha. Like, damn. Wasn't ready to feel feelies in the heelies today, but yes, it's been a year. and we still are working on a lot of stuff that we won't be able to show today, but we have been working our best to make progress on it for the past year.
Okay. I'm just going to say, considering what we're doing today, which is the second part of chapter 1, what do you mean you didn't expect to get hit in the feels?
Well, I wasn't expect. I wasn't. I mean, yeah, what I mean.
we got him. We got him.
Okay, so fun fact for everybody: if you want to know what it's like to get shot, be friends with Alex. She'll just.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but you walked into that one, my friend. You walked into that
I suppose I did. I wasn't ready for the feelies as far as being like, dude, you've been working so hard. It's wonderful seeing your growth and seeing how the project developed. Like, the feelings of the narrative, that's a different story.
Fair point, I suppose. Fair point.
So, to show up a little bit of what we have so far since our last stream, we are now currently working, our amazing programmer, Lace, has now worked on implementing a gallery where we'll be able to unlock the CGs and arts and backgrounds, and you'll be able to explore it kind of like the Blaze Blue gallery. So here we can see Ignato's room, drawn by the amazing Debug Frog, where we can see his out-of-tune guitar, his satchel, this creepy little gremlin that that little child drew for him. So shout outs to Debug Frog for drawing this for us, and to Lace for programming in this gallery. It's still, as you can see, pretty much a work in progress, but we're testing out a few things here and there. As far as other things, I'm just gonna load us into... Yeah, I'm just gonna load us here for now. So, since we last streamed, Lace also has done... Wait, what? I heard...
I'm sorry, I got cold.
Oh, no,
I apologize, everybody.
No worries.
So
I said...
I will be coughing.
No worries. I thought somebody like made a comment and I was like, oh, what did I miss? So, Lace has been working really hard on implementing here a glossary. As you can see, they have worked very hard on adding stuff here, like Ignato's description. There's still a lot here to be added. But for the glossary, we will have character data, location data, terms data, and historical data. There's still a lot more to be implemented, but I want to shout out Lace for the amount of work they put into the glossary so far. Also, I did not add this line of Ignato thinks he's a good boy. That was Lace just being Lace.
I love it. It's perfect.
Pita reading, yes, that's Anna. Yep, Anastasia is here. Another thing to shout out Lace for is that you guys will see these little like ember effects. Originally, we were doing this like singular scrolling texture. Lace has figured out a way so that we can have the proper embers just float up like you guys see here. So while we're still working on the glossary, we will later be implementing all of these embers throughout the different menus and such. And once again, for those that haven't seen it before, we also have our previous chapter menu where we can see where the story takes place within the map. I hope so far everybody's enjoying the stream, and we shall get started with where we last left off at the middle point of chapter 1, which I'm looking through my save files here, because you can see I have a lot of save files to try and program all my nonsense.
I mean, gotta make sure it all saves properly, right?
I mean, it's a situation of not only saving properly, but also a situation where it's like, rather than having to like scroll and skip to get to certain scenes and just, okay, I'm gonna program today the castle scene, I'm just gonna save right at the castle. Pita asks, would things be added in the glossary as you progress through the game? Yes, so you will not unlock stuff about... Coño de la puta madre.
Oh no.
Hey, guys. You guys want to read what that menu says on the top left?
Would...
The blue text over here, what's it say on the top left?
Save?
Okay. Yeah, see.
Guess what I did instead of loading?
You saved?
Uh-oh.
Right over the save file where I was going to. Coño de la madre. As you can see, professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen.
Oops.
So I'm gonna hit the load button. That's not the game's fault. That's my fault. This menu still needs to be reworked. Like, this is still like our placeholder menu. We'll change it so it has the same like storybook aesthetic as the rest of the game. Actually, if anything, just to get to the scene where we need to be, I'm just gonna load here. This is actually the last scene that we showed last stream. You guys may remember this scene did not have a background originally, and Tom Rock sprites did not have color yet. I want to shout out the amazing Lyra Amber for working on these backgrounds for this scene. She did the colors for this background, and Sam Spicy Mexican Boy for doing the line art for said background. Both of them did a fantastic job for this background, and it gives the scene such life. Like looking at the scene here with Vero, Vane, Ignato, and Tom Brock, I feel like the background adds so much compared to what it was like before.
Looks so good.
Absolutely.
Caitlin says, "What's that about nonsense? Don't worry about it. don't worry about it." Also, something to point out: two things that we've also worked heavily since last time. Some of these sprites are actually out of date, but you can see it on Ignato's arms. We are changing how we're rendering the scars. Originally, we were rendering them how we do on Tom Brock's arm, where we were like rendering every scratch of bleed and flesh. Right now, since the scars are actually kind of old on the characters, we're changing it to be more like the residual scar, like on Ignato's arm. And secondly, thanks to the advice and guidance of our amazing voice acting director, Maxi Molina, we have also reworked the script for Chapter 1 to be punchier, more effective, less filled with badly translated Spanish to English style speak, and also removing a lot of like the isms that cannot take away from the story, like the over-explaining, overly this, overly that.
I think, how many pages do we have for the script at the start? It was something like wasn't it like over 200?
Chapter 1 is 170 pages.
Well, now it is. What about before?
When we started, it was close to 300. When we first started.
Oh my god.
When we first started the project, so like we have shrunken it by a bunch, and then Maxi said, "Okay, shrink it further," and now we are 170, and this is our longest. Chapter.
Yeah.
Pita says that it's a good change for the scars since he did think that they felt way too fresh before and a bit aggressive. While also he's like, wow, you guys have that script. Yeah, it was necessary. Like,
Yep.
in retrospect, well, there were some good lines in there. There were some that were redundant, weirdly said, and just overly explaining the fact that, hey, Ignato likes cheese. We're gonna go into detail about why he likes cheese. Like a New York rat. Toads is here. Hi, Toads.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody's here. We're having fun. In fact, we're having so much fun. I'm melting. I'm taking off my sweater.
Oh god.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep skipping through this scene because we already see this scene last time. Unless we want to go through it. Gang says you cannot go too much into detail into cheese, IMO. You know what? Fair point. Girls, what is your favorite cheese?
Don't get me started on cheese. You know I used to work at a cheese shop, right?
That's a good point. Caitlin, I hear you about the weather. I would like to also point out, rain makes me cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna be skipping through this scene up until we get to the castle because, again, me being a dope, I save over the file that I needed to load. Actually, because Alex wasn't here last time, Anastasia's introduction, I'm really proud of how this looks with the background and with Anastasia's sprite.
Nice. It did come out very well.
Pita's losing his shit in chat.
Yeah.
You keep talking about cheese, you may summon Muir. Tell her to come over. Let's have some fun. Let's steer some cheese on charcuterie board.
Listen. You can't go wrong with a good brie. That's all I'm saying.
Not wrong. Also, shout out to Alex for making this line a lot punchier. Like, this line here, like, really digs into it with the revision that Alex gave it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so, actually for reading, how do we want to handle this? Let's do the following. I'll handle the male characters. Jessica, you handle Anastasia, and Alex, you handle the narration until we get to other female characters, and then you can jump in.
Okay, all right. Sounds
Alright.
good to me.
Sounds good to me.
For everybody who just came in, I do have a cold, so if I sound gross, that's not my usual speaking voice. I assure you.
Also, we have begun adding combat CGs. Well, this one needs to be redrawn to be Ignato's farmer outfit and not have a fire sword. We're now implementing combat CGs for different parts of the story.
Oh, but that's such a cool shot, though.
No, here's the thing. We are reusing the shot, but this shot is when he already has his battle gear. I'm going to be drawing over it so that it's his farmer gear instead. So that for this scene where he's still a farmer, he has the farmer outfit and not the fire.
All right. Fair enough.
He's my special boy. He gets multiple outfits. You can get more through the DLC. I kid.
But are you, though? You can charge extra for that.
Maybe. I also see the chat losing their shit over Anastasia and be like, my queen, my beloved.
Yeah.
Peter likes the presentation, and so it's like, I allow the yeah, actually, I don't think Anastasia's sprites were colored last time. We didn't even have her colored sprite for her default. Yeah, that last stream is outdated as hell.
A lot of changes have been made.
Yes. Alright, and we finally reached the scene where we were actually going to start before I saved over the goddamn file. In fact, I'm gonna resave again to make sure that I have the goddamn...
Yeah, just to be safe.
Just to be safe. Alright.
There you go. There.
In that case,
Right.
Alex, you'll take narration, I'll take male characters, and Jessica, you take Anastasia until we reach other female characters. We'll figure it out there when we get there.
Yeah.
Alright.
So here we go. Castle Bolides, by the way, I apologize for my pronunciations of things. A once great hall of power and growth, now a shadow of its former glory in Lamissa's political district. The crumbling walls seemed to bow under the weight of the red banner of Liberamos, its eye-searing red overpowering Ligonia's own gentle green flag. Soldiers in red, training and preparing their weapons, surrounded the stone castle, a monument to the Republic's history. As Ignato and his friends drove into the entrance of the training fields, they could feel the eyes of the surrounding soldiers observing them, murmuring in hushed tones.
What a warm welcome, huh? Also, Peter laughing at Tom Brock changing between his regular sprite and his concept sprite.
I mean, I still maintain that for April Fools, we should just turn everything back into the rough sketches and just leave it the whole game like that.
All right, ladies, you heard the lady. You need to program that for April Fools. Alex, that's your line.
Sorry, I needed to cough.
Oh, no worries.
Ignato distracted himself by observing the castle. The dilapidated behemoth was a sad sight, almost consumed by the surrounding nature. It had become more of a relic to times gone by than the national symbol of Ligonia's pride and strength.
Well, clearly they're hard at work. Any idea when the repairs will be done? My guess would be once Liberamos stops stealing all our money.
Anastasia elbowed the boys, causing them to wince in pain and groan from their previous injuries.
Will you please keep those comments to yourselves? This is not the place to be discussing such things. Whatever.
You broke character for a second there. Fine. That said, you're not disagreeing with us.
Again, not out loud, but yes, you are correct.
It's just weird. You'd think a party that wanted to get into the seat of power for so long would have focused on renovations first. It's not a good look. Caitlin is laughing at their injury sprites.
Listen, it's perfect.
There's a lot of, let's call them machinations at work.
Uh-huh. Hopefully this won't take too long.
Agreed. The faster we leave this place, the better.
As they approach the plant-covered castle, the Liberamos guards aim their spears at the driver and her companions, forcing her to halt.
Peter's already getting mad in the chat.
Well, you see, it's based on their rank, but that's why one guy has color and the other does not.
Well, actually, the guy that doesn't have color is the higher rank one.
Damn.
Here's the thing. I was doing all the Liberamos soldiers one after another, and I got so annoyed at Liberamos that I said, like, I can save you for later.
Like, I don't want to deal with these guys right now.
Literally.
Listen, I feel that in my soul, and I understand. I just think it's hilarious.
Listen, Alex, don't you have that when you write where it's like, okay, I've dealt with this motherfucker long enough. I need to switch the scene somehow.
Yes, absolutely. We've got PETA saying, hate them so much you don't even want to give them the dignity of finished art.
I mean, I kind of have to, but yes.
Have to doesn't mean want to. Anyway, the three remained still as the leader of the guards approached the front while one of his men inspected their cart.
Good afternoon, Palacios. I didn't expect to see you today, much less with company.
Good afternoon, Sir Nyaki. I apologize for my unannounced visit. My friends were accompanying me to archery practice, and they offered to help.
Help?
We came across two of your men, unconscious for some reason. We were told that the Luxa doctors were here, so we thought it best to bring them to be treated.
Is that so?
Can I just say the complete, like, oh yeah, you know, we just happened to come across these guys, unconscious in the middle of the road. No idea how they landed there.
I have no idea.
I just appreciate it a lot.
I mean, who knows? I mean, they could have tripped on a banana peel. I mean, a lot of people don't like Liberamos. We don't know what could... Clearly, it wouldn't be us. We're supportive of the cause, right, girls? Right?
I mean, think about it. Why on earth will we go through the trouble of beating them up and then bringing them over to get treated by doctors? Like, who would do such a weird thing?
Exactly.
I love Saturn's reason just being like, listen, they just got the sleepy juice. Trust us.
Exactly.
Toad says Tiscus drinking on the job. That could also be it. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? The soldier eyed the party doubtfully. Tombrick leaned on the back of the cart, his face covered by his hat. Ignato, meanwhile, sat next to Anastasia, his hands covering the wound on the back of his neck as he fake stretched.
Yep, have to make space at the back for them and everything. Isn't this your cart, Phoenix? Why is she driving? Our little Iggy here pulled a muscle while carrying your men. Poor little thing forgot to stretch. I thought we agreed to pretend that didn't happen. Oops, guess I forgot. You guys should really look into getting lighter armor. It looks so uncomfortable. Though, with how big and macho you guys are, you probably don't notice the weight. Are you disrespecting the uniform? Who, me? Perish the thought. I was merely promoting my services. Okay, we got about Jessica.
Yep.
Yeah. Perish bot. How do I
It's been a minute. How do I be a mod? I don't remember.
Nah, same. How do I remove this? Strict.
How come my window froze, I think?
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think my window froze, so I can't even like interact with the stream right now.
Okay, let me see if I can figure it out on my end. 1 second. Sorry guys, we just need to remove this bot real quick. Our apologies. There we go, bam. And he's been removed.
Hooray.
Jessica, bleh. Jessica, is your stream working again?
I think it is.
Okay.
It's acting a little weird. I don't know why.
Weird. Caitlin says, I don't know who here has watched Netflix's season 1 of the live action One Piece. But if anybody see the teaser 2, the teaser for season 2, my sister has been very upset since yesterday. Oh yeah, because they showed off Chopper, the little guy, and he looks like movie Sonic. Pita also says, I saw it, I have no issues. Honestly, just went to see more of the action before I make any judgments. That's fair. Okay, now the bot has been removed. Shall we continue then?
Well, okay. I just realized that I was pushed and nobody heard me. But I had a question. Was it the first version or the second version of Sonic?
Probably closer to the first one, but like not as horrifying. It's weird to get that kind of design work in live action anyway. Like either way was gonna look weird.
Now I need to look.
In the middle of the stream?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I wasn't gonna say, you're gonna look at it right now?
No, it's fine. I'll look later. I just yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll look into that later.
Okay. Okay, so it seems like Jessica got her stuff working again. We good to continue then?
I believe so. I don't know. It was acting weird.
Okay, if we need to take another
It
pause
just
for you to
randomly
figure it.
loaded properly. Like
Gotcha.
Discord's fine. I can see the stream, but like when I would try to click on something, it would just not load anything.
Huh.
So I don't know if something is slowing it down, and then it just randomly started working. I have no idea.
Technology, our favorite.
Technology, yeah. So now things should work properly. Yes.
Okay. Then
Technology is great when it works.
wait, say that again, Alec?
I said technology is great when it works.
That's it. That's true. Okay.
Now we can keep going now.
Back to Tom Rock being an asshole. Who, me? Perish the thought. I was merely promoting my services. We'll pass.
Rude. The second soldier reached the back of the cart, checking for anything out of the ordinary. What he found was the food and wares Ignato had bought, what remained of his own products, his fellow soldiers, and a still relaxed Tom Brook gently petting Max's back. As he continued searching, he discovered a large, juicy steak that Ignato had bought for his family. His hand snaked into the cart, reaching for the cut of meat, while Tom Brook was seemingly not paying attention. A barrel suddenly toppled, forcing him to pull his hand back as it crashed onto the back of one of the unconscious soldiers.
What the? Oops, my bad. I was just stretching a little and must have moved by accident. Sorry, my friend. Hannibal, is everything okay over there?
The soldier called Hannibal watched Tom Brook with a frustrated expression. All the blacksmith offered back was a smile. An air of smugness orbited Tom Brook from scaring a member of Liberamos. As much as he wanted to, Hannibal couldn't justify arresting him for something so small.
All clear over here. They can go through. Very well. You'll have to pass through the assembly hall to reach the garden where they set up tent. Lord Chavon and your father are already in a meeting with the council. I trust you know how to behave respectfully to our great commander.
Thank you for letting me know. I'll be sure to express my gratitude to his lordship.
Peter being like, got him on chat for Tom Rock getting Hannibal.
Yep. Anastasia offered a small bow to the soldier, who only responded with a detached and annoyed glare. Stamping the butt of his spear on the ground, he commanded his men to move out of the way, allowing the party to ride into the ruined castle.
Now, repeat, we still have a lot of work in progress, but shoutouts for the castle background. And a lot of the backgrounds we're going to be seeing here today to Sam, Spicy Mexican Boy, for the line art, and to Tama Fry for their incredible work on the color. It is outstanding, and they worked so good. And Tama actually went out of their way to also go ahead and fix up some of the other some of the background colors to make them fit better with the aesthetic that we're going for.
Nice.
Because I need their help. Because look at this background. How the fuck am I going to color this?
Oh yeah. That's a lot.
Sam,
It looks so good.
It looks really, really good. Not gonna lie.
it does. I fear coloring it.
Fair point, well made. The sounds of training soldiers transitioned into the haunting murmurs of distant conversations from the assembly hall and the soft squeaking of cart wheels. Old, somewhat burnt paintings decorated the walls surrounding the open garden. The group remained wary as more soldiers and politicians of the Liberamos party walked past them, ignoring their presence. That's not very safe.
How cozy.
We'll be at the assembly hall soon. You two stay in the cart and let me do the talking.
You sure you'll be all right?
As alright as I can be, all things considered. I know how to handle myself, so don't worry.
All right. This pride makes Ignato look so dramatic.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does.
I might.
And all
Mhm. Good.
Sorry, all I'm saying is somebody just has to get a uniform and they'd be able to like waltz in here and nobody would be the wiser. Just saying.
Yeah, but but are you do you really want to be the one to wear the fucking fascist costume?
I mean, if I'm gonna pull off a Mission Impossible thing, then yeah.
God damn it!
Listen, if they've got all the cheese, I want to be able to steal their cheese. Okay?
It comes full circle, baby. Liberamos took the cheese. Kill him.
Listen, you got to get them gains, right?
Toads,
Operation Gouda, I love it.
Operation Gouda from Toads.
Oh my god, nice.
Pete also pointing out Ignato's so extra. He can be. He can be. I might switch the sprite to something a bit more emotional given the way that we changed the line, but I like this dramatic direction.
As the group made their way down the hall, Anastasia's mind wandered to her previous visits. She had toured the palace many times, both by herself and with her family. In her memories, it had been an awe-inspiring symbol of Ligonia's rich history. Now it had been reduced to nothing but a rotted, decaying vessel.
There's so much to be done. Even if Shovelin and his party falls, where do we even start to fix things? It's been 10 years since they took over, and their influence is already embedded into Lagonia itself. It'll take the efforts of many future generations to return to a point where utter misery isn't an everyday reality. Goddess, give me strength.
So it seems you like the visuals they're seeing. Once again, shout out here to
Yeah.
Tama and Sam. Holy fuck, this
So
background.
good. Looks so good.
Holy shit, this is amazing.
Sheesh.
Oh, I also shout outs to Tamak because I was showing this chapter to Tama some months ago, and they realized, wait, this place is too pretty, and they broke the statue. Like they full on like, if you notice closely, they broke the statue arm. So it's like, nah, this statue needs to be broken.
I mean, it's symbolic.
It sure is.
Yep.
Peter says, man, I remember seeing this. Yeah, no, you're seeing it in context.
It honestly looks so cool. So cool.
You can see if I'm raising my arms happily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my line. Listen, I am on cold medicine, okay?
You are perfectly fine. Do not worry.
Yeah. The sounds of a heated discussion leaked through the ancient walls. Following the crescendoing noise, the trio reached the main seats of the hall. The counselor's clamorous shouts made it hard to discern any one topic of conversation. A damaged statue of Primveria bore witness to the unbearable arguing.
Hurts to see the goddess like that.
Indeed. I'd hoped that we could at least agree on having the statue fixed, but that in itself has been a point of contention.
What for? Composition?
Whether we should even bother fixing it or just make other statues for Shavon and his political partners.
Wait, you...
His face.
Oh!
That face, though.
Okay,
We'll discuss
Ignato.
this later.
Yes, you guys put the other face and I'm like, okay, Ignato, open wide. Here comes the happy boat.
Here comes the airplane.
In all honesty, it looks like he just watched something explode in front of his face. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Fitting for what happens later. Don't worry about it.
He read the rest of the script.
Ah,
There
shit!
you go. He read through chapter 2 and now has concerns.
Many.
Oh shit, spoilers.
Ah!
I did not say any specifics. Just, you know.
Caitlin actually says in relation to that he looks like he was just spoiled on how the live action Lilo and Stitch is worse than the original.
Okay,
Oh my
listen.
god.
In fairness, I already knew that the live action was going to be terrible because Lilo and Stitch was like one of my favorite movies growing up, and like animated original was amazing. But yeah, the live action was. Let's just say it went places.
Decisions were made.
Yep.
There you go.
I will not be seeing it.
Peter also says, if the fascist people are here, I'm going to boo and hiss like he's the wicked witch of the pantomime.
I mean, his soldiers are all here, so there might be a chance.
If the man is here, let's find out.
Alright. We'll discuss this later. Again, not the friendliest territory.
Right on cue.
Oh, shit.
Lord Chavon, with all due respect, we cannot afford to spend all of what little money we have on weaponry and reinforcing the border. We've already designated so much of the Republic's funds for the last month. You mean to tell me all that money is now completely gone? Gustavo Palacios, you ignorant rat! Are you listening to yourself? We have seen the weapon.
We got booze in chat.
Booze in chat, booze from the development team. Everyone hates this asshole.
Also, gotta love that we have. I think that's Pita is saying that he's a milk shitter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an actual Venezuelan phrase that he taught Pita about.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it fits. It definitely fits.
Milk cheater refers to somebody who is a complete asshole, a piece of shit, but has way too much money that they know what to do with.
I see.
You have seen the weapons those devils up north are developing? You think we can just stand by and let those bastards get away with that? We have to be prepared! Yes, I am well aware that Lucia's been very aggressive in their weapons development, but you promised to direct more of the Republic's finances into the education of our children and our nation's infrastructure. You're barely stable enough to be on the same stage as the other states at this point. Watch your tone, Palacios. You're lucky you're even allowed to sit in this hall. We of the Liberamos Party have done a great deal of service to the children of this nation, but if the Northern Devils kill them, what will any of that matter? You can't be serious. Through the education of the children, we can help them prepare for a better tomorrow. Rather than trying to compete with the other kingdoms and you are selling our resources to, mind you, we should be working on restoring our home to the great front it once was. Are you saying we aren't great anymore? We are the glorious people of Ligonia, children of Primveria. By our birthright, we are greater than the other kingdoms. When you dare speak to me about selling our resources, need I remind you that the only reason we have insulted Varunian territory is because you and your Unidad companions. We sell those mist crystals at a loss because the other kingdoms won't import them otherwise. Meanwhile, you refuse to sell them the one thing they want. We have made a deal with the Ligonian people to support and protect each other's land from outside threats. We have to maintain that deal until they can return to their land. Not to mention, you admit to selling those crystals at a loss, and yet you continue to spend an insane amount of money and manpower in their production. Bless his ass. Would you just...
Excuse me.
Just the cutest excuse me I've ever heard. Sorry, I wasn't ready.
That was very well done, Jess.
Thank you.
She's like, I'm not having this shit. Guys, calm down. Sit down.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, okay, boys, sit your asses down. I got more important things to do. You need to pay attention.
The idea of Anastasia telling her dad, sit down, boy.
My god. Wow.
Yes, that's good. Excuse me, while two men argue. Yeah.
1 second. Alex, say that again because the music's kind of drowning you out a little.
Oh, my bad. I said in chat, Kate share.
Caitlin.
Yes, cute. Excuse me, while two men aggressively argue.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Exactly. The car stopped right before the steps leading to the seats of the different heads of the fleet. Anastasia hopped down from the vehicle and made her way to the center of the hall.
Alex, I think you're having some technical issues because like you keep cutting in and out to me.
Really? I mean, I switched to push to talk just so I could cough without breaking the audio.
No, it's not the push you talk. It's just like your signal, I think, because of the rain.
I see.
Oh,
Do you want me to say the line again?
If you can, just in case.
Yeah, no worries. The cart stopped right before the steps leading to the seats of the different heads of state. Anastasia hopped down from the vehicle and made her way to the center of the hall.
Yep, better. Pete also says, perfect way to undercut them, honestly.
The argument quieted down as she approached, the members of the council murmuring in confusion at her sudden appearance. She gracefully bowed to the men and women before her. Chavon regarded Anastasia with disdain. Though it required some effort to leave his seat, he rose to loom over her.
What brings you here, child?
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Chavon. I only wish to pay my respects to you and the other heads of Lagonia.
With her head lowered, she could not directly see the glares from the members of the council, but could still feel their frustration.
Pete, just like... we both noticed it in chat.
Yeah.
Pete being like, this man's shaped like a pear.
I mean, he is, but also, like, you want me to stand there and pretend your shit don't smell? Come on now.
That shit stink rank.
Right? She had no desire to lift her head, for the mere sight of Chavon filled her with disgust beyond description. Her only respite was her father, whose pride shone like a beacon amongst the council's ear.
Well, it appears at least one member of the Palacios family knows how to address their superiors.
That face, though. Sorry, that face, though.
Which one, Chavon's or Gustavo's?
Gustavo, just the way he's looking at him, like, you little shit.
Literally, yeah.
Like, excuse me, you want to say that again?
It's only because my daughter's here. I'm not whacking you in the back of the head.
Right?
But what has brought you all the way here to the castle? Surely the barbaric traitors of Unidad do not expect a child like yourself to take a seat just yet.
I only seek passage to meet with the Luxa doctors. 2 of your soldiers were found unconscious in our streets, and I wish for them to receive treatment.
Sorry, just as a quick aside, can we also just take a moment to talk about the fact that these soldiers and everybody is just like, yeah, no, we're just going to let these random ass people bring our soldiers in for treatment, rather than, I don't know, taking the soldiers and bringing them there ourselves? Because considering that these are our guys...
I mean, at least Anastasia is like the daughter of like one of the leaders of state.
Well, yes, but also it's like you're just going to shove this responsibility off onto these random guys rather than doing your own thing.
Do I look like I want to do my job?
I mean, no, but like even Siobhan is like, okay, well let's let somebody. It's not like okay, well let's let somebody else do this because this is not, this is not your responsibility.
I suppose so. Give me 1 second, because I'm noticing that I'm getting a bit of like feedback on my microphone. I'm gonna make sure a quick, check in chat. Are we having any audio issues on your guys' end?
We also have Toad saying, "Don't nobody want to take responsibility." That too true. Too true.
Okay, Caitlin says there's nothing odd. Toad says no one wants to take responsibility. Everybody here acting like they're waging here. Fair enough. Processing sounds okay.
Sounds good.
Alex goes out a bit, as I pointed out, but it seems to vary when and when it doesn't.
All right, I'll just have to be careful about making sure that I'm actually pushing to talk.
No, you're pushing to talk. It's not a push to talk. It's again like the signal.
I see. All right, well, can't really do much about that, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. All right, then we'll continue. And do you know how they got into the state, princess?
I do not. When he came across them, they were already on the ground. There are other witnesses in the area if you feel the need to investigate.
With a heavy thud, Siobhan returned to his seat, coughing as he waved Anastasia along.
Carry on then. We have important matters to discuss that do not require the presence of children. Anastasia, we'll talk later. Go in with the doctors, all right? Go in the back courtyard.
Thank you, Father, Lord Shavon.
She rose and commanded her friends with a wave of her fingers to begin guiding the cart around her. Ignato obediently drove the vehicle towards the courtyard's gateway, allowing Anastasia to climb back on. That transition, though.
What about it?
Listen, it's cool, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yay!
This whole light at the end of the tunnel thing. Very, very well done. Very
This
well
is
done.
this is one of the few backgrounds that I've done for the castle, so I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, good job. As they entered the long,
The
dark
long,
hall,
howdy y'all.
I listen.
I
I will not deny that I've got a southern accent on occasion.
Howdy y'all, we here out in Lagonia.
I'm just saying I use y'all non-ironically, is all I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, as they entered the long dark hall, the echoes of argument started up once again with almost as much fervor. Anastasia waited until they were far enough away before tapping Ignato's shoulder.
Ignato, would you please hand me your bag?
That face is perfect for Anastasia, by the way.
I'm glad we agree. Also, shoutouts to Lace for teaching me how to do these environmental effects, like Ignato and Anastasia are darker because they're in here. I had a feeling you'd ask.
Oh, sorry, my line. He took off his satchel and passed it to Anastasia. She gave him a sweet smile and took it daintily.
Thank you.
She took a deep breath, then violently shoved her face into the bag, her fingers gouging deeply into the leather.
I cannot scream right now, but imagine screaming here.
Come on, do it. Do it.
Oh no. I swear my voice is still warming up.
That's fair.
Alright, never mind then. It's fine.
I will say I will be adding a camera shake here, so it's like the camera shaking as she's screaming. Everybody in chat, mood.
Yeah, I mean, after that whole bullshit, yeah.
There it is.
I needed that. Thank you kindly.
You might mean it to piss you off. Seriously, if you had ripped it, I would have made you pay for it. As if she could have done any more damage to that bag than you already have.
Tombrook jokingly dropped his hat on Ignato's head, only for the farmhand to retaliate by pushing the blacksmith back into his seat.
Also,
Boys, you're both pretty.
Alex, he's like, "Bah."
Listen, the cold medicine takes away my filter a little bit, okay?
You had one to begin with?
I had a semblance of one. Just saying.
Peter says, if you open the bag, the screams come out like the Odysseus bag of wind. Saturn, she's so real for that. Toad's back full of rage, and Caitlin is dying laughing.
Thank you. I'll be here all week, maybe. They continued forward until eventually. Sorry, I just had to give this music some time.
No worries.
They left the dark hallway, exiting into a large garden. Even out here, it was clear what the cruel passage of time and neglect had done to the stronghold. Overgrown and messy, aged flora grew and weaved its way through the crumbled statues and functionless fountains scattered about the area. Weeds had spread as far as the eye could see. The mixture of architecture and nature was both beautiful and tragic.
I remember coming here before the war. This place looked much different. There's a little fountain over there, decorated with a wonderful statue of birds. By that wall was a flower garden, but not much of that remains here anymore.
Not sure what you blame the war for that one, or our friends here.
They aren't mutually exclusive.
True, that fire did reach all the way out here. But the layout rebuilding definitely falls on those currently in office.
Alas, even if we wanted to see this place repaired, we'd have to find the original blueprints, or else contract someone to start from scratch. And money isn't exactly abundant right now.
Saturn in chat like trauma.
Yay, trauma!
My favorite. Give me that shit.
Okay, Luis, don't take this the wrong way, but there's a reason why we've been over this before. There's a reason why the acronym for this series is called SOBS.
I knew it. I knew you were going to point that out.
Thank you.
S-O-B.
I knew it was coming.
S-O-B-S.
Absolutely. A large tent came into view on the other side of the courtyard. Outside, several soldiers were leaving, while some civilians still awaited their turn for treatment. PETA's saying that Runner has already told us this. Yep, fair enough.
Yep.
Ignato and his party approached the tent and parked the vehicle. They asked for permission from those waiting outside before they brought the unconscious pair in. Yeah, we don't cut in line around here. We're not Liberamos.
We're not living exactly.
Tombrook yawned as he aimed his hand in the direction of the soldiers. His hand glowed gold along with the bodies of the injured soldiers. He focused his energy on the injured men, allowing him to lift and carry them with ease.
To be honest, it feels like a waste to use my psychokinesis on these guys. Would you rather actually carry them? Nah, might catch rabies or something.
Once inside, the group was greeted by the sight of 4 single-person beds, all currently in use. Those who weren't fortunate enough to be on a bed were forced to lay on the floor. At the far end of the tent, 2 doctors were treating an older woman.
Uh, Caitlin's also laughing at Tom Rock saying that he'll get freebies from touching Liberamo's people.
I love that line.
I mean, listen, he's not wrong, is he?
Tom Rock, my sassy king, says Saturn, and Pita saying hello to the doctors.
Absolutely, they are the best.
Speaking of Alex, since we now have more female characters, would you like to take Lady Matria or Dr. Catalina?
I'll take the lady since my voice is all gravelly, and I think that's appropriate.
Okay, then Jessica, you can also take Catalina.
Okay.
Not nurse, doctor.
There you go. Her wrinkly, frail skin was covered in bruises, and while the male doctor mixed some medication, his female contemporary carefully sutured up the open lacerations along her arms.
This is the older lady.
I tell you, may the goddess bless you both. You two really are like guardians to us all.
That's for you.
I don't know who's
this is
okay.
You, Jessica.
Oh wait, yeah, her mouth open. None of that, Lady Matria. It's our pleasure to help our people. Times are already hard enough as is, so anything we can do to make life easier is the right thing to do, right, Ruben?
Catalina's right. What kind of doctors would we be if we didn't treat our people with the best of our abilities?
Too modest, the both of you. This generation really doesn't know how to be proud of their successes. Why, when I was your age, I defended my dear old Alro from a dragon. I beat that creature to a pulp and proudly hung his skull on my wall.
Really? Last time I heard the story, I could have sworn you said he was a bear.
¿Por qué no los dos?
He was a dragon bear. I just realized I need to lower my volume because I'm being way too loud. Apparently, I essentially peaked there. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm no longer touching the red.
There we go. There we go.
Toad says, "Don't doubt Granny."
Listen, Granny's got them moves, okay?
I mean, not to brag, but like her design here. Look at the scars; they're everywhere. She's bathed in them.
That's true.
She will fuck you up if you mess with her.
She will hit you with a chancla.
The younger trio approached with the soldiers in tow, waving at the older woman. We've got Granny is fucking metal as fuck, and she has thrown down and will do so again. Absolutely.
100%. Not the chancla.
Bears, dragons, their meat tastes all the same, and both were nothing I couldn't handle back in my younger years.
My God, Caitlin. My God.
Listen, there are some things that are universal.
The fear of the chancla is universal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sigh, to be that strong again. My spirit may be as lively as you kids, but my bones don't agree.
Yeah, you're as far. You're first. That wasn't Tom Rock. That was me. Let me try that one again. Hello there.
Take two.
Take two. Yet it is that fiery spirit that keeps you as sprightly as ever, Lady Matria. If anything, you're an example to follow.
Ha ha ha! Do you flatter everyone that way? I assure you, you'll have to work a lot harder if you want to take my Alro's place.
I wouldn't dream of it.
The two of them shared a laugh while Anastasia crossed her arms and rolled her eyes at the interaction.
She's dealt with this nonsense before, you can tell.
Honestly, I just need the Tombrook and Lady Matria to like sit down to dinner or something and just do it back and forth. I don't even need to like be a part of the conversation. I just want to witness the sheer amount of sassery that comes out of that.
Hell yeah, old lady sass and hot boy's ass. Let's go. Toads is like, you can't take Tom Rock anywhere.
Meanwhile, Ignato kneeled in front of the older woman to get a better look at her. Her light brown skin dotted with the red and purple wounds that now painted her. The injuries were recent, and it was clear from how she moved that the pain was intense. Poor
Lady Matt.
lady.
Wait, what?
I said, poor lady.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Matria, if I may ask, what happened to you?
And here I was hoping it wouldn't be too obvious. A couple of those rotten bastards attacked me.
Me look at the script being like, wait, did I actually write that?
Listen, I like to take liberties for some of these lines.
Clearly.
A couple of Liberamos delinquents attacked me. I was bringing some food back for my husband, and they beat the color out of me for my troubles. Damned animals, every single one of them. Why, if I was just a few years younger... Holy shit, my voice matched exactly.
It was perfect for that.
Yeah,
Hello,
that was great.
Abuelita Alex.
Nice.
Sorry, I needed to have a coughing fit immediately after that.
I could tell. I could
no.
tell.
Yeah, I'm alright. I just, yeah. I become a baby once I get sick.
No worries.
By the goddess, they've really fallen that far?
It seems like that honor code of not attacking older people and pregnant women didn't last very... As Matria tried stretching her bent back, she caught a glimpse of the men floating behind Tombrook. I'm sorry, I know we don't have them, and this is a very intense scene and everything. I'm just imagining two guys just like floating like ass up right behind these two.
That's essentially what's happening, yeah.
Amazing. Her face contorted with rage as she tried to stand up. Though startled by the sudden, intense reaction, those around her tried to keep her in her seat. Not gonna lie, it fully looks like she just, like, kicked him in the legs and then just, like, casually walked away.
It's extra funny because like I have drawn her expressions, but I haven't programmed her expressions into the game yet. So she's just like, "Oh, don't worry, Nato. I'm gonna just bathe in their blood real quick."
I mean, that's a mood. Those two, it was them.
Wait, seriously?
Sorry, now it has the expression of, does anybody remember, or maybe I'm too old, but llamas with hats?
Wow. Okay. So I was gonna say you're not that old. You're not actually Lady Matria, and then you hit me with llamas in pajamas or whatever. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Listen. I knew I was gonna show my age when I said that, but like, this exactly. That's what this is. This is just
Lady
that.
Matria is Carl.
Exactly. This like Lady Matria is Carl, and Ignato is the other one that nobody can ever remember his name because he's not the one who constantly does things wrong.
Suppose so.
I think his name was Phil. I don't remember. Oh,
His name is
Tom.
Tom.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Peta. I may be old, but I'm not senile yet, Ignato, I can recognize the bastards that stole my food. Give me that. Oh, hey, look, somebody else in chat remembers the llamas.
Yep, totes.
She
it's
broke
Paul.
from it. Oh, no worries. I knew it was some like generic white name. That's all I remembered. She broke from Ignato's grasp and firmly grabbed her cane. However, before she could do anything more, she felt the touch of Anastasia's hand on her wrist. No! Let Grandma beat the shit out of these guys!
Please
I shouldn't have drank my
Lady
tea during
Matria.
that. I should have drank my tea during that.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh dear. Are you...
I almost patted. I didn't, but I almost did.
Oh God.
Listen, you should know better than to drink your tea when I am speaking anything.
Fair point, well made.
In all seriousness, if it makes you feel better, I spilled some tea earlier, so
Oof.
there you go.
Damn. Please calm down, Lady Matria.
Why should I? They deserve to get a taste of their own medicine.
That may be true, but you don't need to dirty your hands. They've attacked us as well, and as such, I'll personally be making sure they're properly punished.
Anastasia, you are a saint, but look at what they did to me. With how things are, how can you be sure they will be punished?
Admittedly, not much on my own, but once I discuss the matter with my father, he will do what he can as the leader of Unidad to bring them to justice.
Somebody else is saying Granny is allowed to throw hands a little bit as a treat. Absolutely. Granny said these guys are going to get what the gardens get, a good
Good digging. People are here on Madria's side, my lord.
I mean, listen, she's a badass old lady, and she got beat up by these two Cracker Jacks. Yeah, we're gonna.
Jacks!
I warned you I was Southern.
God, I'm so happy to have you on this stream.
I'm glad I was able to make it. I'm glad I was able to make it. And if he can't,
Then I'll hold them down while you tear them to shreds.
dots.
No, Peter, you're supposed to be on Madria's side. I just wasn't expecting the calls for violence.
Listen, it's for all the
For all the
abuelitas.
abuelitas.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I needed to cough.
No worries.
Matria looked Anastasia in the eyes. After a moment of deliberation, the older woman smiled weakly and relaxed her hands upon her cane. I'll hold you to that, dearie. She sat back down with a thud onto the chair and let her body relax. After a moment, though.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Yeah, Anastasia's ride or die. Absolutely. Respect Abuelita, or you will never see the sun again.
Hell yeah, let's go.
There we go. She sat back down with a thud onto the chair and let her body relax. After a moment, those around her finally let go of her. Sorry for the outburst, doctors. I didn't mean to cause a disturbance.
No need to apologize. Your feelings are completely understandable. I just ask that you stay still while I finish your treatment.
I realized I need to fix Catalina's name because I accidentally wrote it as Katarina.
Oh. Oops.
Ah!
Somehow I'm Venezuelan and I got the L&R issue that some bad Japanese translations get.
Listen. It happens. It happens.
I know you were a warrior once, but moving around with a piece of metal in your body is not the smartest idea. Just ask my husband.
You make it sound like I was stabbed with a spear. It was just a fishing hook.
Well, judging by the way you reacted.
I also I just realized it is a pattern on the couples that I write. That the guy has done some stupid shit at least once.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy has done some stupid shit at least once, and the lady will never let him forget it.
Yep.
Is this not most of my friendships? Let's be real here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Actually, if you don't mind, could you have a look at my neck when you have a chance? Well, these guys almost snapped it in two. Well, you might be waiting longer than you'd like, but otherwise, sit tight and we'll get back to you.
That is that's true love right there.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah. Of course, no rush, doctor, and thanks again. Oh, by the way, this whole thing happened by your shop. We told your daughters to stay inside with the doors locked.
Gods, thank you. The children should not be exposed to the garbage happening in our nation.
Caitlin says that reminds me of an 80s/90s anime where the gym would be literally spelled JIM or JYM, and the alert would be spelled alert or alert. Yeah, that's an easy mistake to fix though, at least on my end.
I mean, yeah, but it also has the same vibe as library
Library.
for
Fair.
those who play Undertale. Yeah.
Jesse, you read the line?
I did, yes.
Oh, my bad.
That reminds me, there's something I've been meaning to ask you too.
Go ahead.
Well, your mission as doctors is to care for and protect people, correct? That's right. It's our sworn duty. I hope I'm not crossing any lines by asking this, but I've always wondered. When you treat soldiers, is there any conflict in your minds about it?
Huh? What do you mean? Let me see if I can get what you're asking. Essentially, since these people terrorize Legonians, does treating them count as causing them harm by proxy?
My intention is not to criticize. I am just curious about their perspective, is all.
The moral dilemma: do you treat murderers knowing they're going to go on to murder when you're supposed to do no harm?
Yep.
The two doctors appeared to become pensive as they continued their work. Dr. Catalina sutured Lady Matria's lacerations as her husband brought over the ointment and placed it on a small table next to her.
If you ask me, yes. I do feel a bit conflicted about treating soldiers, but one can say the same thing about any others. Each of us are equally capable of hurting another, so even by treating you three, I risk enabling you to cause harm. Always a risk, huh? Not quite exactly, but it's always a possibility. Besides which, we also have to consider who our patients are outside of their actions. They're people, they are human. These men have families to feed. It's not that I agree with what they've done. In fact, I hate what they've turned our home into. But maybe uh, offering a bit of kindness will allow things to change, or at least open a door.
A rather hopeful way of seeing things.
Then what do you think, dear?
Pete, that is like Symphony Crew learns about the Hippocratic Oath. Yep.
Literally, actually,
Yep.
what I used as an inspiration for this scene.
Yep. Also, gotta love how the wink is very similar to Tom Brooks.
I have a way of drawing winks, yes.
Dr. Catalina gently rubbed the ointment on the injuries of the older woman. Even as she spoke, her eyes remained solely focused on her work.
I share some of your sentiments. Seeing patients as people first, the risk any patient will hurt another. But in the end, it's still my duty to treat people, even if they behave like savages. I didn't expect to cause change during the war by helping foreign soldiers, and I don't expect to now. Even still, I couldn't call myself a proper doctor, or even a person if I just left someone injured or sick to go untreated.
I'm honestly amazed you can do that. I'm not sure I could separate them from their actions. It's not exactly easy, but given the right circumstances, I'm sure you'd make the right call. What do you mean? Consider this. These men are hanging from a ledge. Below them is a bed of spikes. If they fall, there's no question that they will die. Do you pull them up, or do you leave them to their fate? Don't think. First answer comes to your mind. Go. Pull them up!
Those faces, though.
Everyone's like,
I love
what?
them.
Yeah, I may need to go do something here soon in a second, but I'll finish this line real quick.
Okay, okay.
Everyone in the room is surprised by Ignato's answer, including himself, who just stared at the doctors with wide eyes. Dr. Rubin smiled proudly while his wife shook her head with a smirk.
Well, would you look at that?
See? You also prioritize life over a person's actions. Of course, there are limits, but your base instinct to help others. You just follow that instinct. I see.
Okay, sorry guys. I'm gonna have to go do something real quick. I'll maybe be back on in a little while.
Okay, okay. Hopefully all goes well. If you come back by the time we're still on, then feel free to join again.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Thank you all for having me.
Anytime, and thank you so much for joining.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I was able to make it.
All right, see you in a little bit.
See ya.
Okay,
Uh,
bye.
Boy. Then Jess, in the meantime, do you want to handle the narration then?
Sure.
Okay, okay. I see. Well, good to know even if I keep picking on him, still be able to rely on little Iggy here to save me. Keep pushing your luck and I'll push you off the cliff. You love me. You know you do.
I love them.
They're so good.
Eventually, the Luxa doctors finished working through their queue of patients, reaching Ignato and then Tom Rock. As the trio left the tent, more patients continued to line up outside, waiting to see the kind doctors.
I'm glad people like that interaction.
Yeah.
Peter's like some days I'm Ignato, some days I'm Tom Rock.
Ignato and his companions made their way to the front of the castle, where they could see the soldiers preparing a carriage.
A second, you suggesting the volume because I know that this next scene has a loud song because, well, I've done some work on the sound. There is no sound mixing yet, so stuff is very wonky with the music so far.
It's a work in progress.
It is. We're literally in alpha. We're in version 0.0.18. We're not even at 1.0 yet.
Its boxy design was decorated with ornate golden markings and wheels made of pristine metals. Jewels were encrusted all around the carriage, scattered like stars.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Also, shoutouts to Tama and to Lace for helping me figure out how to do this effect.
Yeah.
Looks so good. Though I will have to now shrink the files because the files are so big. Because all of these are full renders. I need to shrink them a little bit because it's causing the game to struggle to actually load the images. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Alas, no. That's Chavon's official carriage.
Truly, a symbol of bad taste. It's hacky, honestly.
It is. It feels less like a carriage and more of a middle finger to the eyes. At least it means that today's discussions are almost done.
Peter says the effect is one of those things where like if it wasn't there you wouldn't notice, but that because it's there it adds so much polish. I'm really glad to hear that because it was a fight and a half to figure out the coding for this. How do you think that went?
Probably the same as always. My dad and his party tries to pass policies to better the lives of the common people. And their ideas are thrown out because, oh, that puts other kingdoms first. How dare you betray your republic?
At least from what we witnessed, it seems like you're talking to a wall.
A wall would be more pleasant to talk to. After all, a wall would give in eventually after being hammered over and over again. I'll admit, I'm not optimistic about things changing so long as the Liberales are in power. But acting aggressively won't solve anything. It'll just lead to more chaos. It feels like a lose-lose situation. Her companions did not respond. They've heard this before.
Peter laughing at the wall comment.
They wished there was something they could do, anything to either cheer her up or change the situation. Yet they knew it was all useless. The system had been deadlocked long enough to feel routine.
Come on, this is the Anastasia I know. Something will happen. I got zero clue what or how, but empires can fall and societies can change. Hopefully, it doesn't take forever, but it can't be impossible. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's just naive optimism or a source of inspiration. Either way, may the gods hear you, but because we sure need something to change soon.
Optimism or not, we could all use a bit more of that attitude. I think hope may be the only thing that will keep this town from just collapsing on itself. It's a message worth sharing.
You really want him to go spraying that around? Pretty sentiment and all, but I wouldn't make him a spokesperson.
Ignato elbowed Tom Rock's head in annoyance.
Well, I don't see you volunteering. I'm a blacksmith, not a public speaker. I just need to get by, and you guys can handle all the fighting and social change. Liberamos jump scare.
God. Ah! Get him out of here.
It's so loud!
Get out! Trumpets sounded as their conversation came to a close.
Oh, it's so loud, I actually have to lower the volume, actually.
It is loud.
My
Yeah.
lord. Hey, jump scares are for horror games? Listen, politics is a horror game. There we go, that should be better.
Mhm.
Why is this a banger? No! That's the problem being a composer. Like, I have to make a song that is, like, actively like, I hate this song, legitimately. I made it and I hate it. But I have to make it
Right.
work. But I have to make it good and work because it needs to fit this political, powerful force.
Right.
I'm so mad. Saturn!
Soldiers lined up at the entrance of the castle, their swords aimed up to the sky. Humbero M. Chambon emerged from the building first, followed by the other politicians as he made his way towards the carriage.
Imagine if Trump ever forced you. I would reject that with
no.
every fiber of
Oh,
my body.
no.
I will reject that with every fiber of my body. You cannot
Ew.
make me. Fuck off. But this shit, you have the soldiers throw it back to the choir. I know.
Wait, that reminds me of that bit that we had in D&D about it being like, I forgot what exactly the bit was, but it was something about like all the knights throwing it back.
The knights throwing it back to Petra. Yeah, definitely like spider twerking on the wall at church.
God. Oh my god. Okay. The trumpets blasted the proud patriotic anthem for Liberamos loud enough to be heard all the way to the northern mountains.
Whoever wrote that song should get pelted with rocks.
How many times can they play the same song without getting bored or annoyed by it?
Loud, obnoxious, and no rhythm to speak of. Nothing but empty noise. At least it's fitting, I suppose.
As Chavon approached the carriage, his soldiers proudly gazed upon their nationalistic leader. The trio of friends could only observe in silence. Catching sight of his opponent's daughter, he shot her and her friends a quick glare before entering the vehicle as the trumpets continued to resound in his honor. The carriage was driven away by a silent soldier, the music echoing even as the vehicle faded into the distance. Once Chavon was out of sight, the performers and soldiers dispersed and returned to their previous activities. Anastasia caught sight of her father talking with other members of the Unidad party, along with 3 Libramo soldiers, all with calm, firm expressions on their faces. Oh! The woman leapt off the cart and ran towards her father.
Hey, wait a minute!
Carefully, Ignato drove his cart behind her, approaching the group as they dispersed as well. Father! The blonde wrapped her arms around her beloved father, who returned both the hug and its enthusiasm.
Now there's a smile that warms the heart.
He playfully ruffled her hair as he noticed her companions approaching right behind her.
Ignato, Tombrook, pleasure to see you two as well. Thank you for escorting my daughter here safely. Don't mention it. She saved our asses today.
Before Ignato could say more, Tombrook elbowed him in the back, causing the farmhand to recoil and twist his body in pain.
And I love Anastasia's face here. Yeah, one of the animals from the farm almost wrecked my shop. Was able to help us stop it from making a mess. A real lifesaver, that one. Uh-huh.
The older man murmured to himself as he saw the somewhat uncomfortable look on his daughter's face.
These guys are constantly wailing on each other. Boys being boys.
He chuckled to himself and rested his hand on her shoulder as he offered her a sweet, gentle smile.
That's wonderful news. It seems I raised her so well. How about you tell me all about it?
Sure thing, Father. The zoom in is so good.
I'm so happy.
It's so good.
I'm so happy with that zoom in. In fact, one more for the replay. One more for the slow motion replay.
God.
Fuck did you just say, says Pizza?
Oh, it's so good. While her voice remained cheerful, her eyes darted to Ignato with the sharpness of daggers, a green reticle glowing in her irises. All the farmhand could offer was a silent sorry. Gustavo laughed loudly and patted his daughter's back.
Caitlin says that zoom is golden cinema, and Toad's like, oh, that man is dead. He dead.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I've seen chat for F's and 07s in the name of Ignato. See, other VNs wouldn't do that. The extra polish just shows a passion for the project. I really appreciate that, Pita. Thank you so much. Like, yeah, it is the micro things that make it work. Everybody here saluted Ignato. And F, you say. Wonderful. Men, prepare the weapons. I'll catch up with you in a few. Right away, sir.
Gustavo and the others moved to the steps of the castle, creating some distance between them and the other soldiers carrying out their duties.
Saturn says, I was gonna say everything looks so cinematic. It's great. Thank you so much, Saturn. I really appreciate it. Like, that's something I actually always felt annoyed with some visual novels that I played. Like, I know some older ones like Fate Stay Night, of course, didn't have either the budget nor the engine for it. But like, I always appreciate that extra level of like cinematography to a scene if possible.
Yeah.
I forget, Jesse. You read this line just now?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Their shouting and noisy banter were enough to mask the quiet conversation between father and daughter.
Actually, Pita, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. And actually, I have to rush to the restroom, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back to see how Anastasia explains the fuck up that Ignato just did. So everybody, quick break. Everybody go to the restroom, and we'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Last where we left off, Ignato was going to die. And if we continue, I said if we continue, game. There
Hi,
we
I'm
go.
back.
Oh, hi, Alex. You came back
Oh,
just in
oh,
time.
hello.
You scared me.
Ooh.
Actually, just for you, Alex, we're gonna go back because there's a bit that you missed that I
Oh,
think you'll
yeah.
find very funny.
Oh, my bad.
No, don't worry about it. Just
All I heard was last when we left off, Ignato was going to die, which my response is, what else is new?
I mean, as he almost just outed to Gustavo what happened with the soldiers, and well, look how Anastasia feels about it.
Okay, Luis, permission to shoot you?
1 second, let me drink my tea first.
Okay.
Okay, I have now drank my tea. You may proceed.
Okay, so just so I'm gonna tell them the story about Elvent and Strahd and all of that.
Yes, you are correct. That is exactly what happened. You are not wrong on that one.
Okay, is it alright if I explain what happened?
Like yes, in the terms like I'm okay with you telling it. I'm also just like trying to keep the focus on the game, though. That's okay. But you can go ahead though.
Okay, fair enough. Just real quick, TLDR. Basically, Luis's character, Strahd is like part of this D&D thing that we're doing, and he's like the big bad evil guy, and literally asked Luis's character, "Okay, well, what's your deal? Like, why are you here?" And Luis almost told him his entire backstory right there.
Hell yeah.
And I literally was just like, "Are you sure you want to say all of that in front of him?"
And I went, can I get that takes these backseats? And she's like, only these once.
I wasn't expecting you to detail your entire backstory. Anyway, back to the game. Sorry.
No worries. So yeah, because of that, Anastasia now has to do some explaining. That's wonderful news. It seems they rest her well. Well, tell me all about it.
Sure, Father. Sure thing, Father.
That close up.
So good. I love it.
Her eyes darted to Ignato with the sharpness of daggers, a green reticle glowing in her irises.
Caitlin says, I will not get over that zoom in.
Neither will I. Neither will I. All the farmhand could offer was a silent sorry. Gustavo laughed loudly and patted his daughter's back.
Wonderful. Men, prepare the weapons. I'll catch up with you in a few. Right away, sir.
Gustavo and the others moved to the steps of the castle, creating some distance between them and the other soldiers carrying out their duties. Their shouting and noisy banter were enough to mask the quiet conversation between father and daughter. Anastasia carefully explained all she had witnessed. The assault on Ignato and Tombrook, Anastasia's own involvement in the incident, Lady Matria's account of her attack and the resulting wounds, and how the soldiers were currently receiving treatments for their own injuries.
Dr. Rubin and Catalina should have a report you can use to arrest those soldiers, or at least make them face some consequence.
Quite thorough, but you'll need to be more careful. They're likely to retaliate.
Perhaps, but I do not regret my actions. I would do it again if I had to. Besides, if they retaliate too aggressively, their public image will suffer.
Amongst the opposition, perhaps, but their supporters will likely excuse them. I know that I do not mean to scold you for helping your friends. You definitely have your mother's bravery. I just ask you be more careful. Getting rid of that target on your back will be tough once they share their side of the story.
Yes, Father.
Gustavo then turned to his daughter's companions and offered the same stern look.
You doing okay there, Alex?
I'm okay. I'm just face though.
You're still what?
What now?
I couldn't hear what you said at the end there.
I said that face though.
Yes. That goes for you too as well. The Valeria and I are already worried enough as is. Just try to keep the peace as much as you can. You'll treat me like your son, eh, pups? Well, we did share our roof with you for many years. Not treat you as a son. You are a son to me. Well, I won't complain about having a family that cares about me. But you already have enough on your plate. So don't worry about little Liggy and I. We'll be on our best behavior from now on. Best behavior? You make it sound like we were looking for a fight. Don't act like you weren't hoping for a chance to kick their teeth in. Just because I wanted to doesn't mean I was going to. I'm not telling you I would be upset if something happened to me. Best you not risk it.
I'm sorry. Not though. Take your own goddamn.
The wheel of fate
Oh,
is
This is
turning.
why you need to have self-preservation instincts.
I got scared by the fucking Blaze Blue sound effect. Garlax, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You came in right at the sadness time. Welcome to the patch of sadness. Yeah.
Welcome to the sobs.
Welcome to sobs. Yeah, I don't know how much you know Garlax, but this is my game, Symphony. Say hi to the little gremlins. We're just going here through the first chapter to showcase what we've worked on so far. Thanks for the support, Gustavo. I really appreciate it. Well, as long as you kids take care, I'll do what I can on my end to keep you safe. Just do your best to avoid the soldiers for a while. I'll try. Hopefully they won't come after me, though.
Speaking of the soldiers, Father, if I may, what were you discussing with those Liberamo soldiers?
The large man sat on the stairs of the castle and gazed at the men around him. Most wore the eye-searing red armor he had grown to hate over the years. Yet his voice and face did not show contempt, but rather kindness and melancholy.
There have been reports of some strange creatures and corpses found around the forest. So we're choosing to work together to investigate the situation. I'm leading the operation, so I'm going to the forest with Victor and his forces. Wait a minute. You plan going hunting alone in the forest with them? Won't that put you in more danger?
Ignato's right. As the leader of Unidad, being basically surrounded by your political enemies in a secluded space is a huge risk. What benefits could there possibly be? It's an attempt to build trust. Liberamos controls the military and most seats of the council, so any attempt to regain control is likely to be met with brutal physical violence, like their previous attempt at a coup prior to the war. If you can convince some soldiers to join your side, you'll likely have more protection and support, allowing you leverage to fight back, correct?
The old man chuckled, playfully tapping his daughter's nose.
Ever the tactician. But that's essentially the goal, yes. To get more people from Liberamos on our side. Don't go, Papa, it's a trap. Oh no. He'll be fine.
Absolutely.
I mean, he raised Anastasia, like, clearly he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. No sadness here.
No sadness here.
Yep.
We're in a position where Liberamos has ingrained so much hatred into their followers and soldiers that even the act of us breathing enrages them. But if I can do small acts of trust building, those millstones will eventually become a unified mountain. It's a trap, says Caitlin. Quite a bold move, Pops. Can't say I risked that Can't say I risked it like that myself. But hopefully, you'll at least be able to pull some. You'll get. Let me try one again. Quite a bold move, Pops. Can't say I'd risk it like that myself. But hopefully, you at least get them to pull their punches. Success often requires risk. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any ill will towards Chavon and the other soldiers. But if I am to unify this republic and help my people, I have to acknowledge the lives of everyone, even those I dislike. Their strength and numbers would greatly benefit the rebuilding efforts. Toad says, Gustavo, you're a better man than most.
Yep, a true leader.
Yeah.
So, you'll just forgive everything Liberamos does in an attempt to unify? It may seem that way, but not in the slightest.
Politics, everybody.
Politics, yeah. You need to play the game. They've effectively crippled our land and its people. Their leaders will be held responsible. But for that to happen, I need supporters. I need to have the military and members of the council on my side.
Otherwise, the moment you send Chavon to prison, his soldiers would just break him out and destroy any authority you have.
Perceptive as always. Though, if you wish to succeed me, you'll need to learn how to mask your feelings better than you did back at the assembly hall.
I'm sorry, she masked her feelings beautifully back there. What are you talking about?
She did, but he read her like a fiddle. Read her like a fiddle? Read her like a book, rather.
I mean, listen, how long has he known her by this point?
About 20-ish years.
Yeah.
Basically her whole life, so, like, that's,
Wait, you realized that even then? I've only raised her for 20 years. If I didn't know my daughter at least a little by now, I wouldn't be a very good father.
Thank you for proving my point.
Also, Toad saying, nah, I get you, Gustavo. You're playing the long game, boy. Exactly.
Indeed, indeed. Anastasia couldn't help but blush in embarrassment and look away, scratching her chin as she did so.
And here I thought I had hidden it well.
You did. But you do have your tells.
Which are?
A true politician never shares his secrets, dear.
How am I supposed to learn if you don't tell me?
Well, you got such a good eye. Can I ask you for a favor, Gustavo? I suppose I could try. What's the matter, son?
Ignato jumped into the back of the cart, pushing some of the items aside, and lifted a large, heavy box over his shoulder. He struggled to keep himself stable as he presented the large object to the blonde man.
What in the goddess's name is this? He weighs more than Tiliana.
How do you know how much Tiliana weighs?
They spar a bunch, though. She has probably thrown to the floor, pinned him down, broken his spine. You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, fair enough, but like, all that is incredibly specific.
Probably just a way to like throw a jab at her.
She's not even here.
Listen, when you're pissed, when you're pissed about someone, you throw out jabs and hope they land somehow.
Fair enough, I guess. While Ignato swayed back and forth, struggling to keep steady, Gustavo stood up from the steps. The joy in his eyes was like that of a child being given his favorite treat.
Magnolia's armor.
Mothers?
Yes, that would explain the clanking sounds. Ah!
Ignato proceeded to fall on his back, the box crushing his chest with such force that it knocked all of the air out of his lungs.
Toads understands. I know cousins. He has been sat on at least once.
Okay, in fairness, I have younger siblings, so yeah, I feel you and I hear you, but also like if I'm lifting something heavy, my first thought is not this is heavier than my siblings.
Let's be real here. He's throwing a jab right now because he knows Tiliana can't hear.
You know what?
Yeah.
Fair point. Also, can we? I need a tally for how many times Ignato gets hurt, and
Well, actually, I made a list of it in the server. We actually kept count at one
Oh my
point. Let me
God.
see here. Let's see. Let's see. As of chapter 1, be up to where we are in the story, he has fallen out of his bed and almost cracked his skull. Gotten his chest hit by a horse so hard knocked the air out of him. Has had multiple PTSD episodes. Got an apple thrown in his head. Almost got choked out and his neck snapped by a soldier. And now an armor almost broke his sternum.
Yep.
Wait.
You know.
Wait, Toads, 13 siblings? My lord.
Wow. Okay.
Big family over there.
Oh, yeah. Where are you in the birth order now is the question.
True.
The man gasped in pain as his friends looked on in shock.
Careful. You're gonna break it. Finish your my sternum. Will break before this thing does.
You all right?
Everything hurts. Oh.
Oh, walk it off. You've had worse today.
Oh my god.
Because you're in the narration, you're just imagining the narrator saying that to Ignato.
Oh, okay. You've got 13 cousins.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The group helped take the box off of Ignato. He struggled to get his breathing back in order as Tom Brook helped him move to a more comfortable seating position. Again, I say walk it off. You've already almost got your neck broken. You can handle this.
Anyway, haven't you been trying to find this armor for a while? Yes, when she passed, all we could find was her broken spear. But her armor was nowhere to be seen. A pawn man from Eleusis apparently found it in the place of blades. I had to wait to get it due to shipping regulations within the Empire, but at last.
Anastasia's eyes lit up as she grabbed her father's sleeve.
I think there are more for things left out there.
Oh, Toadsy's needing to reload the string because he's falling behind.
Oh.
See you in a bit, Toads. There's even like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and we continue.
The larger man wrapped his arm around his daughter and felt himself tremble.
Wait, Alex, can you read that again? Because like you really cut out there.
Sorry. The larger man wrapped his arm around his daughter and felt himself tremble.
Yes.
He had taken great pains in salvaging whatever traces he could of his late wife. Bringing home her armor almost felt like finally welcoming her home.
My child, would you mind if we wait to open it until I return from the investigation? I wish to share this moment with you.
Father, I'll wait for you.
Shared one last smile before Gustavo kissed his daughter's
Alex, you okay with it? Because like I'm getting out your issues again.
I'm cutting out, or?
Yeah, you cut out again a little bit.
Okay, my bad. Shared one last smile before Gustavo kissed his daughter's head. He waved the group goodbye as he felt a new wave of energy course through his body. He approached the waiting soldiers, who both saluted him with stoic expressions. Anastasia found herself mirroring his pride and excitement as she watched him stride away, her own round face breaking out into a bright, beaming smile. She quickly hopped onto the cart with her friends.
Do you mind if we stop by my place and drop it off there?
Not a problem. After you do that, if you like, we can hang out at the farm for a bit before your dad gets back.
Well, given how I've missed archery practice today, I suppose I can keep you company. How about you, Tom Brook?
The blacksmith strapped down some of the cargo before giving his friends a thumbs up and relaxing into his seat.
I have more orders, but honestly, work's the last thing I want to do right now. Mother better whip up something good when we get there. Perfect. Then let's get going.
Okay, I just want to say, Tom Brook, when has Mama Ignato ever made something that doesn't taste good? Let's be real here.
Let's be exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
With the
Fucking-
whip of his... Sorry, you were saying?
Are we gonna continue a bit of like what a judgy boy?
He wants that Lucius crap.
Illusions has shit food. What do you mean?
No, but it's pretentious. That's the point. Okay, that was weird. My audio turned off. Anyway, with the whip of his reins, Ignato began guiding Aurora forward, away from the worn walls of Bolide Castle.
Jessica background. Tama
Yeah, that's the
background.
background I did. Yeah, and then Thomas' background. Nice.
Yeah.
Looks so nice together.
Yeah, like
Very
it's like the vibe of like you're going through it.
Nice.
Very nicely done, guys. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Also, Alex, you get ready because Tiliana's incoming.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. The sun finished its daily trek across the sky, painting the heavenly blue canvas with orange rays. Another full day of work had come and gone. The wind whispered across the rustling leaves, creating a welcoming ambiance as the group left the bustling of Lamissa.
My background.
Yeah.
It's Pride Month, everybody. This one's for the lesbians.
Yay.
Hey. A muscular silhouette stood waiting for them as they approached the entrance. Ignato's small canine companion leapt out of the cart and ran to greet Tiliana. Yes, happy Pride. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Happy Pride, everybody!
Hey, Pride, everybody.
Yeah, happy Pride.
First day of June.
Christ, Saturn. Exhibit of Pride. Saturn 8 light, everybody.
Very, very well done. Very well done. It was clear her patience had been running thin, but she relaxed slightly at the sight of her cousin's companion. I was wondering why you were taking so long. Hotshot has been making a mess all day.
Sorry. Some stuff came up.
Ignato parked the vehicle next to his cousin before looking for the bottle the twins had. Clearly, seeing how you brought a full party, you kids have fun? Aren't you? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. First of all, how old are you compared to the rest of these guys? I know you're older than Ignato, but like...
He's older than Ignato and Anastasia, but 1 year younger than Tom Brook.
Okay, so then who are you calling kids?
You know, she acts like she's mature and older and blah.
Yeah, I've seen how this ends. Like, I've seen what happens in like the next scene.
Exactly.
Tom Brook hopped down and gave the black-haired girl a hug and kiss on the cheek with his usual easygoing attitude.
Also, Saturn losing it in chat. Happy Pride. Crush me, Tiliana, please. And
Also, with notes calling people who are over 30 years old kids.
yep. Honestly, the older we get, it really does feel that way.
Yeah, the older you get, the more you like look at people that are like, you know, in their early 20s or even in their 20s, and you're just like, man, you're just a baby.
Yeah, pretty much. As fun as it is getting beat up, as fun as getting beat up by the Veramos can be, don't worry, it's all taken care of.
Ah?
The delivery of that fucking killed me.
Listen, tell me that is not the exact way that voice line should be, that should be acted.
Eh?
I realize that was very anime of me, but come on now.
I mean, if we get a Japanese dub, that would be how it would be like, eh?
Yep.
Exactly.
Nani?
Also, thank you, Toads, for backing me up. 20s are absolutely babies.
Yes.
Tom Brooks simply strolled past her, making himself comfortable under a nearby tree and letting a long, happy sigh escape him. Before she could react, she noticed the bruising on Ignato's neck as he walked past her into the barn. She only just managed to open her mouth to question them before she was stopped by another quick hug and kiss on the cheek by Anastasia.
And
The-
this is
the
Tom
Brooks-
said. Wait, what?
Sorry, I was just gonna say that expression is the expression of siblings everywhere.
What, Tiliana's or Anastasia's?
Yes. Also, Toads is right. Tiliana is going to be pissed when she realized she missed out on all the fun.
Yep. And Saturn says she's so big compared to everybody. I mean, next to Anastasia especially, look at her.
Yep. Big.
Big.
It is as Tom Rock said. Don't worry, Father and I are handling it.
Alex?
Sorry, something weird was happening with my side of the stream for a second there.
No worries.
Old laptop, everybody. Tiliana returned the actions and happy to sweep Anastasia in a tight embrace with her large, powerful arms. You guys really are lifesavers. Seriously, sorry for my stupid cousin.
Toads is like,
Yeah.
hugs like a hydraulic press. I mean, look at Anastasia's face. She's about to like blow up.
Not a problem. Just please be careful. I don't want my back to break.
Speaking from experience there, Jessica.
Perhaps. I am actually very small in real life, so...
You actually are Anastasia height.
Yeah, I am actually... Well, I don't know anymore, because I tried to measure myself not too long ago. I'm like, oh, I might not actually be 5'2". I
If
might
you're
be
shorter
shorter.
than Anastasia, I'm gonna lose my shit. If you're shorter than Anastasia, I'm actually gonna lose my shit.
It would be very funny.
It would be really funny, especially since I have witnessed you like almost breaking her back.
Fucking,
I have a witness.
I don't know what's the problem, says as he flexes his arms proudly.
Well, here's the thing. You would have tried to do that to me as well, and you have almost managed to succeed, except I'm slightly taller than you, so
You think that's gonna stop me?
that's the point. It doesn't stop you from trying. Slightly embarrassed, Tiliana eased up, releasing Anastasia. Whoops, sorry about that. Just happy to see you. Anastasia and Tiliana joined Tom Brooks, who simply laid on his back, arms behind his head, a calm smile upon his face. Anastasia sat with a delicate grace, casually holding onto one of her legs in a familiar sight. Tiliana threw herself to the ground, puffing as she crashed down, barely bothering to catch herself. Ignato, meanwhile, began treating the horses, with breath and hoping he wouldn't pass out and die from the stretch. Oh, quit being so dramatic. Well, actually, no, that's another part on Ignato almost dying.
True, add that one to the list. Ignato almost dies from handling a diarrhea-filled barn.
It's a biochemical weapon.
Honestly, having done it myself, yes.
Having also done something similar myself, yes. What exactly happened?
Nothing much. We were just walking around, some cocky assholes took an issue with that and decided to attack us. Goldilocks here saved the skins, and now here we are. Life is swell. So based on that scowl of yours, you didn't have an easy day, huh?
You want to go ahead and find out what it's like to clear 20 kilos of fourth shit?
I'd rather deal with Liberamos again, but thanks for the offer.
Grown. I'm surprised that damn horse isn't dehydrated. Who says he's not?
That's a fair point, I guess. I mean, I guess she would know since she works here too. Either way, it's a lot of shit, Toad says.
Indeed, indeed. Actually, that begs the question. Is it realistic to have 20 kilos of shit from one horse?
Don't worry about it. Fantasy story.
Fair point, I guess. It could also just be an exaggeration on Tiliana's part.
Probably.
It's so thick and gooey, I'm sure I lost my sense of smell.
At least it was only one horse and not the entire stable. Which reminds me, how did it get so bad?
Fucking Aleutian food. Those pasty-ass snobs are great at technology, but their food sucks. We tried importing a bit so we'd have less crap to deal with, but now we've got this disaster.
Alex, can you try speaking a little louder? Because I feel like the issue is that your mic isn't picking you up.
In all honesty, I think something's going on with my sound in general, because, like, the music is skipping.
Yeah, like right
oh
now.
yeah, this for me too.
It could be because I have it on such low volume. Actually, let me reset the stream for you two, actually, because that might also help with that for you two.
Okay.
Yes, I'm resetting the Discord stream to show y'all. Let me know if it's any better like this.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
Yeah, you do sound better.
Excellent.
Okay, in that case, if we could get another line read. And also, Toad says, I mean, I've seen some horse dookies, and they can add up pretty fast when they're... That's a good point.
Good point, good point. Either way, it is a lot of shit.
Yep.
Fucking Aleutian food. Those pasty-ass snobs are great at technology, but their food sucks. We tried importing a bit so we'd have less crap to deal with, but now we've got this disaster.
Haha, crap. Not on purpose.
What are you talking about? That was 1000% on purpose.
Okay, it wasn't on my end. If it was on one of your guys' end, that's a different story.
On my end, that was 1000% on purpose.
Awesome.
Come, buy now. I assure you, it's organic and pure.
Luis, you're such a child. I just said it was Alex's idea.
I take full responsibility for that, and I'm not sorry.
Oh, I fucked up the coding there. Look at the shadow behind Tiliana.
Oh.
You know what? It's fine. We can fix it in post.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that's getting fixed.
Cure my ass. I swear if I see that rat again, I'll break their spine.
Some of the wise they call it. You shouldn't really expect much from our empire run by beasts.
It's a matter of image. They may be the leaders in cutting-edge technology, but their biggest priority is making sure everyone else knows it. Lucius doesn't particularly care about using its technology to benefit people or improve quality of life. They would rather use it for weapons and such.
And you heard all this directly from their prince, right? Verhelis, was it?
Yes, and he is a shining example of every problem the Empire has. His snobbish air of superiority is enough to make anyone want to put a knife through their own throat. I do not understand how the sages put up with him. But we have to maintain a friendly relationship if we are to rebuild.
Speaking of craving death, Tiliana pointed towards the barn from which they could see Ignacio.
Work in progress.
I've said it. Listen, I think it's beautiful.
Much appreciated.
His eyes had hollowed out, the color had drained from his face as he shambled towards his friends. He resembled a corpse with how listless his body appeared. He swayed from side to side before falling face first next to his friend. He didn't even bother to...
Here lies a brave hero. May the flow welcome him for his noble sacrifice. Entonces, Nato, no. Oh, 7th in chat again for Ignato.
Okay, sorry, something's going on with my stream. Hang on.
No worries, everything okay?
Okay, there we go. For some reason, it cut out and also froze. It was weird.
Huh.
It's raining by where I'm at, so I think that might be part of the problem.
That'll do it.
Oh yeah.
It's only now getting sunny where I'm at.
Yep. Ignato lifted his face, grass falling from his mouth.
Step on my neck again. I beg of you. Please end my miserable existence right now.
So dramatic. Now you have some idea of how I felt.
You love like it's so dramatic could also fit in there.
I mean, listen. I'm just saying she's been having to deal with this bullshit all day, or horse shit all day, I should say. And yeah, and all Ignato had to do was deal with some assholes.
I mean, tienen que point that out in this next line.
Yep, here we go. You were only in there for a few minutes. I had to deal with that all day. Ignato somehow managed to roll into a sitting position. The grass stuck to his face like a messy collage.
I just hope it actually works. I don't want to have to spend more money on medication.
Anastasia chuckled as she wiped the grass off her friend's face. Friends, sure.
Where did that come from?
Damn. Called out.
Damn.
Listen, I'm just saying, you were talking before about the fan fiction. This is the fan fiction writing itself here.
I expected my death by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's not happening, but okay.
If you guys have to go into that mess again, I think you might need medication yourself.
I'm personally curious to see which of you could last longer. After all, Tiliana has the strength, but Ignato's a pretty resilient little guy. Alright, you say this, hold your horses.
He isn't wrong about you being durable.
What did you say, Alex?
Sorry, I was saying I see what you did there for the hold your horses line.
Exactly.
Having a soldier attempt to crush your neck and last as long as you did, quite the feat.
While Anastasia considered the possibilities, Ignato just looked away bashfully, scratching his neck a bit. Stretching his neck a bit. Words.
and I'm the non-native speaker. Yeah, it wasn't particularly fun either. I could take the punishment, but things could have turned out bad real fast. I'm lucky that you guys were there. If not for Tombrok, I would have had to handle them both alone. In the end, Anastasia saved us both. All you guys won. Just have my back when I get jumped and we'll be alright.
You say that like you expect it to happen again.
In this town, you kinda gotta.
Well, if you trained for it, you don't have to worry. If you trained for it, you wouldn't have to worry about being caught off guard. It is inevitable, yeah, that's right,
Yep.
Vince. I've offered plenty of times to train you. Me and Ignato spar, and he's improving.
At what? Being thrown around? If I wanted to eat dirt, I just go into your barn.
I mean, you would get the flavor right there. Speaking of practice... Oh, here we go. Tiliana proceeded to kick her cousin in the knee. Here we go.
Here we go.
I told you that things would get physical real fast.
With these people, of course.
Specifically with Tiliana, of course.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Queen shit says Saturn.
Absolutely. I trained you better than that, Ignato. How the hells did you end up on the floor eating shit?
You?
In a fit of anger and frustration, he returned the favor. Gotta love how has his battle stance right there.
I haven't
Yeah.
drawn her battle stance yet. That's the problem. I only have her hurt stance. Like you could have handled it any better.
Okay, who wants to bet that Tilly's gonna win?
Play your bet, folks. Play your bet, folks.
What do you say?
Had it been your shift, you would have had to be the pacifist like Mom asked, and you would have been ended up taken down.
I bet my entire savings account.
My
Absolutely.
lord.
I mean, that's an easy bet, let's be real.
True.
Especially at this stage of the game, easy bet.
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid? Look at me. Those guys would need to send their entire army to take me down.
God, it's your fucking ego. Just because you're strong doesn't mean you could have taken down 2 soldiers on your own.
I totally could have. You're just whining because your ego got hurt. Little baby Ignato had to be saved. I am not sorry for how I performed that line.
No, that is exactly how it needs to be performed. At least I didn't burn dinner like a certain someone.
What does dinner have to do with anything?
He's just throwing
Also-
jabs. He's just throwing jabs
Yeah.
at her.
I mean, yes, but still. Toads is saying Tiliana has such fun reads. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, bastard! They kicked each other repeatedly as they continued to bicker, destroying what little peace had formed. I have to tell you that I just have this image of like those cartoons where it's like just a ball of dust and like occasional.
The fucking a lot of times for Persona 3. Just the dust cloud and the fist coming out.
Yeah, pretty much, where it's like fists and legs and sometimes heads, but for the most part it's just like a bunch of wacky shit.
Please, if somebody does it, please do it with Ed, Ed, and Eddie sound effects.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, hang on. You cannot give me shit for talking about llamas with hats and then bring up Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Come on now.
Fair play, fair play, fair play.
I mean, listen, that was a great show, but you can't. Sounds of monkey screams and horse whinnies. Yes.
Yes.
They were interrupted by 2 small pebbles crashing into their temples and sending them both to the ground, recoiling in pain.
Ow!
Are you children done?
See, in this context, Anastasia has every right to call them both children, because they definitely are acting like children.
I hear you, but also, as the 3 of us are elder siblings, we understand. We cannot relate here.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying I don't understand. I just find it really funny and have a need to point things out.
Fair.
Anastasia stared at her friends with the green ring around her iris, unamused. Both growled at her as they held their injured heads. You see, here's the problem. If you say that is the perfect reason for her to turn around and say, "Don't you growl at me."
Oh my god.
She started it. God!
Another stone slammed into his forehead, sending him sprawling back into another round of groaning, cursing the gods for his misery. Yep, add it to the tally.
Don't even too much. You may get even more brain damage.
Ignato half-heartedly threw the rock at his friend, but the projectile barely made it more than an inch before falling to the ground. Not bothering to get up, he took a moment to take in his surroundings. Yeah, Saturn is like her face, yeah.
Yep.
That's the face of shut your mouth. Shut your damn mouth.
Pretty much. Isn't that the same sprite that you used with that zoom in before?
Yep.
It
and
is.
actually, my favorite thing, the sprite is literally just called Anastasia, shut it.
There you go. There you go. That's all you need. I could end you, but I won't. Nice. The sun had begun its descent below the horizon. The birds flew overhead as the glimmer of the stars broke through the heaven's infinite expanse.
You can see I still need to make a new sky for this.
Oh well. The farmhand took in the fresh air of the farm, the natural scents filling his lungs, letting himself relax. In fairness, this is a very pretty picture, though.
Thank you. This is nice.
What, getting hit in the head? You do that every morning.
Not that. I meant this. Every day is just work, danger, fear, and anxiety. I mean, moments like this, I don't know. It makes me happy. Remember how eating things felt before the war?
True. A lot has changed since then. We've certainly changed.
I guess so. Lagonia does still have its good points, which is why we haven't left yet. Although, if I did go anywhere, having you guys with me would certainly make it less painful.
See? I knew you loved us.
Don't push your luck.
Fine, fine. Though with how things stand, how long can we keep this up? This little get-together was fine and all, but prices are rising. We're becoming more volatile. It seems like every day is worse than the last.
You're right. We have food, we have shelter, but resources continue to dwindle. Not to mention the value of our coin is falling by the second. 2 weeks ago, a single cabbage went for 100 dolks, and as of yesterday, you can't find any for less than 1,000.
Inflation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even our milk has gone up in price. We used to charge about 300 dogs per 6-bottle set. Now you charge 7,450 dogs to break even.
When I was in town, some of the locals mentioned the prices went up because supplies are starting to run low. Lucky we have the farm so we can at least grow our own food and share it with those close to us. Yep. Economic hardship.
Yep.
The crops are starting to fail. Even a good harvest is pretty shit compared to previous years. I just realized how much she fucking curses. God.
Okay, like sincerely, is it too much? Like that's something that me and Ardov have been trying to work out. Like how much? Tina does curse a lot. Like she's the most vulgar of the crew. But is it too much?
I mean, I'm not one to talk.
Okay, let me in that case rephrase the question. Does she sound like a has-been hotel character?
She does not. I think it's fine. I just, going through her lines, I'm just sitting there going, wow, she curses a lot more than I thought she did.
Toad says, no, that's not too much, I don't think. Okay, so long as she doesn't sound like Lady from Devil May Cry, the anime, we're good.
Yeah, she's not cursing every other word or anything like that. It's, more like, I don't know. It's fine.
She's a bit of a potty mouth. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mostly did it for the bits, but anyway.
Fair.
Anyway, it is becoming more and more... Yeah, she curses casually. So.
Mm-hmm.
It is becoming more and more costly to keep this place up.
Well, the worst choice would be to stick around and dine. The relatively better one would be moving to another kingdom. It wouldn't be the easiest options, but it could be nice. Seeing another culture, trying new foods, like a permanent vacation.
You do know I was joking before, right? Mitsuichi and
Mitsuchi.
Okanar. Huh?
Mitsuchi and Okinara.
Mitsuchi and Okanar are always on the brink of starting another war, and let's not even talk about Aleutius. That place is essentially a death pit.
I mean, some have been able to move and be alright. I mean, all you have to do is be prepared. In fact, I've been reading a few books that are supposed to help with that.
You studying? That's a new one.
You say that like I'm stupid.
Listen, you said it, not me.
I'm really proud of that face. Just the attitude of that face just makes me very happy.
It's amazing. It is amazing. It's very well done.
It is curious, though. You've never been much for reading. Which books are you looking at?
Well, I bought one from a traveling salesman some weeks back. I think it was called something like Illustrious Society, How to Make It Big. He had some weird advice, but hey, maybe useful. I wouldn't bet on it. I remember hearing some stuff about how the author, apparently all his wealth came from inheritance and stealing. So whatever little crumb of an idea you might find might as well be worthless. Wait, seriously?
Looks like you got duped. How much was it?
I managed to haggle it for like $100. Even that feels like too much. Iggy got scammed.
Oh yeah. Well, at least it wasn't super expensive, but moving to Lucius seems like a bad idea if you ask me. The war was only 10 years ago after all. They aren't exactly going to be welcoming so soon. Better to stay here and try to fix the situation as best we can.
Right.
Foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that transition was very well done. Good
Thank
job,
you.
guys. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, the stars and the moon began to glow brightly on the dark, expansive canvas above. Anastasia stretched her back as she stood up, pressure escaping her with each pop.
It's getting late, so I'll be heading out.
Line that Jessica has never said.
You know, I'm a night creature. It's
Yep.
never too late. Father may be coming back soon, and I should start preparing dinner.
Time goes by when you're having fun, huh? I'll walk you home.
Oh, I don't want to be a bother.
Don't worry about it. Because after what happened today, who knows what Libidamos might get up to. At least let me walk you to the town gates. Deal?
Very well. Thank you, Ignato.
Don't mention it. How about you two?
I live here, dumbass.
I love your deliveries. They're so good, Alex.
Thank you. And I need Tombrook to come check something for me. Some of the hinges are in need of replacement. Also, I don't want to be a third wheel for whatever you guys got going on.
What do you mean? Oh god, he's that stupid. I make weapons. When did he say I could fix hinges?
You didn't, but do you really want to get involved with those two while they're making googly eyes at each other?
Good point.
You didn't, but you know metal better than most. If you can't handle it, I'll ask somebody else.
I suppose giving it a look won't hurt. I expect proper compensation for my time, though.
Stop talking like we don't pay you well. I paid good fucking money for those gloves.
And thus, you get some custom-made gloves from the finest quality. See? It all balances out.
Gods, you can be annoying. You two stay safe. Come back home as soon as you're done, okay, Ignato? No nonsense face.
Yeah. Don't stay up for me. Wait, okay? Don't stay up waiting for me, Tilly. I'll be back soon.
Thank you for your hospitality as always.
Come on, you're like family. You can drop by as much as you like. Now get going. Wouldn't want your dad to starve. As the group dispersed, the moon glowed proudly in the sky in honor of Gay Pride, and the warm air gradually cooled.
Nice.
Oh no, this is a new moon. It's the gay moon.
Listen, any full moon that shows up in the month of June is automatically gay. That I don't make the rules.
Duly noted.
There we go. Hashtag Gay Pride Moon. Thank you. Yep, there we go. The trees danced in the cold breeze, their leaves and branches creating a harmony with the surrounding fauna echoing in the distance.
We are going to take a quick break here because I need to go to the restroom again. So we'll pick it up here in just a little bit. So we'll be right back in a few. So stretch your legs and BRB. And we
Sorry,
are
what?
and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw Saturn sitting out. Take care, Saturn. Thank you so much for stopping by.
See ya.
Good to have you.
And thus
You
we
see,
proceed.
Saturn's leaving now that Tiliana is not here to be.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
there you go.
the timing.
Had to stay for Tiliana.
She stayed just for Tilly.
Exactly, exactly. All right. The road to the farms. Ha, very suspicious.
Yep.
The road to the farm had become so dark, Ignato had to light his lantern.
I'm on the wrong window. I'm not tapped in.
Though not the best light source, it was good enough for what they needed to see the rocky road before them and catch glimpses of the surrounding forest they had learned to call home.
I really can't see anything like this. And you expect me to let you go home on your own?
You do know I can take care of myself, right? I still have my bow and arrows with me.
I know.
I mean,
Good.
I was just gonna say,
Wait.
she did save your
Shit.
asses earlier.
Wait. I forgot to unmute you guys. I didn't hit the mute but the unmute
Oh.
button for you.
Okay, so everybody
Oh,
got to hear
nobody
us talking
cares.
about the weather.
No. Like they didn't hear you talk about the weather. They
No, they
didn't hear
didn't
you
hear
read your
anything.
lines.
They haven't heard anything.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, that's on me. Yes. Alex agreed that Saturn is suspicious. Sorry about that. So yeah, yes. Read your line again then.
Okay. You do know I can take care of myself, right? I still have my bow and arrows with me.
I mean, she did save your asses earlier.
I know, but better to be safe than sorry, you know? Besides, a few mosquito bites won't bother me. Much.
Well, I'm not one to reject the kindness of others. Thank you again.
Anytime. If anything, thanks for helping me and for hanging out.
Always a pleasure.
The sound of cicadas filled the air, a symphony of cries and chirps harmonizing in their ears. Title card.
Hey, close, close.
The calls of unseen frogs and night birds joined the choir of nature, creating an almost welcoming dissonance. They continued to walk, the crunch of the gravel accompanying the natural music around them. Yet, even as they enjoyed the nighttime peace, Anastasia felt a strange tension building in her heart.
What's wrong?
Huh?
You're usually a fan of night walks, but you look kind of sad. Everything okay?
I'm alright, but I'd be lying if I said something wasn't on my mind.
What is it?
Both stopped walking, looking at each other in the gentle glow of the lantern.
Please, be honest with me, Ignato. Do you intend to leave Lagonia?
Uh,
Please, just tell me.
I don't know what you mean.
You aren't subtle, Ignato. Importing food from Elucius, reading books about how to make it big in another nation. I won't judge you for doing so. I just ask for your honesty.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it more and more recently. I love Lagonia, I really do. The memories I've made here, the people, the food, you. I don't want to leave it all behind. The way how things are, this place is getting harder and harder to live in. I have to think about what's best for my family.
Wouldn't your family want you here?
I'd prefer to bring them with me, but I know Mom would fight me and choose to stay. Even so, I could send money from over there and so you could at least live a bit more comfortably.
I see. I'm sorry.
Huh? Why are you sorry?
Well, if me and Father had been able to make more changes, this wouldn't be happening.
I recall seeing these sprites in the server. Yep, these were, the
Yeah.
other ones were made recently. I don't know how recently they made each of these sprites, but yep.
Then maybe it'd stay.
Hey, this isn't your fault. You guys are doing what you can. It's not that easy. Besides, there's more to it.
More to it?
Father didn't respond, his hands clenched as he looked away from her. As realization dawned on her, Anastasia gently placed her hand on his shoulder.
1 second, I just need to do with some audio stuff here a little bit. Come on, there we go.
Oh,
It's
that's
those nightmares,
alright.
isn't it?
What's the matter, Alex?
It's this picture. Yes.
The picture,
I forgot about this.
the CG.
Like-
Yeah.
Listen, this is shipping fuel, okay?
That's exactly the idea. The funny though is that when I first started sketching, I forgot that I wrote she puts her hand on his shoulder, and I put her hand on his chest. So it's like Anastasia reads the script. She says, "Nah, I want to feel the man titty."
I mean,
Get it?
Why do you feel like there's gonna be someone in chat saying valid?
well, now that you've said it,
They still won't leave you alone.
No, they won't.
phantom flames flickered in his vision. It need not be said. Phantom flames flickered in his vision as they singed his body while a man towered over him, blade in hand.
I know what I saw. He's out there somewhere.
You mean your father, right? The Blade of Bounce, Gabrielle.
Yeah. Mom believes he's alive, but doesn't think he was there.
You feel she doesn't believe you?
She refuses to accept what that bastard did to me. He's driving me nuts. We both know he's still out there. I have to find him. I need answers.
But why Lucius? Do you have any leads guiding you there?
Before the war, I remember her mentioning that he used to be friends with the Beast Emperor, Alexander. I know he died in the war, but there still might be someone out there who knew my father or where he may have gone.
With all due respect, that isn't a particularly strong lead.
I know, okay? I know. But I have to know why. and I won't find my answers until I find him.
MC boys having father figure trauma.
Yep. In this case,
Nice.
literal father.
Yep.
But even still,
I mean, father figure, what's really the difference at the end of the day?
fair enough. But even still, I don't want to leave Tiliana and Ma behind just to track him down. I'm not sure I can convince them to come with me either, and I don't want to leave you guys behind. So, no, I don't want you to leave, but I'm starting to get desperate.
The two of them stood in silence, the sounds around them fading into the distance at the weight of their words. It wasn't something either of them wanted to accept. They both felt a painful tear at their hearts at the thought of being separated. You see, here I was thinking this was going to be a nice romantic stroll, and then I get hit in the feels.
Surprise! Jazz hands.
I mean, I'd say I'm surprised, but I also read the script, so. Their moment of goodbye was approaching faster than either of them had ever expected. After a lingering moment, Anastasia finally spoke up.
You don't have to choose yet. Decisions like these are not ones to be made lightly, and I imagine you've given it a lot of thought.
Yeah, I have. I'm sorry.
It's alright. In the end, it is your choice. Just know, Lagonia will always be your home. So if you do decide to leave, remember, there is a place where you belong, and that place will always welcome you with open arms. No matter where you go, we'll always be with you.
And Please pardon my terrible singing right now, but there you go.
Nah, it was for we take those. We take those.
Ignato's doubt and uncertainty lingered in his gaze as he met the warm confidence reflected in Anastasia's eyes. He released a deep breath, her reassurance easing some of his tension. After a beat, he smiled back at her, chest still heavy.
Caitlin singing with you in chat.
Nice.
There you go.
I wasn't expecting so much support from you on this. Thanks, Anastasia. That certainly takes the weight off my shoulders. If I do leave, I promise I'll be alright.
Promise me. Promise your family.
If it comes to that. After all, I still need to make my decision first.
Don't rush yourself, okay? You have time.
Yeah. Thanks, Anastasia. For listening and, well, being so understanding. What?
Just the hard cut to
The
this
hard cut to the concept art.
work in progress, yeah.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. The girl pulled on his shoulder to bring him into a tight embrace. His eyes widened slightly in surprise.
That's what friends are for, right?
Oh, come off of it.
That got you, Alex. That got you.
Listen. Don't go calling this boy a friend. You know he ain't just a friend. Just saying.
We know what you are.
You know what you are.
So, yeah, I feel you.
Caitlin said, Anastasia, I love you, but cut the crap, you love him.
There you go. He returned the embrace, not wanting to let her go. Alex throws down headphones with the blatant lies. Come on. Yep. He returned the embrace, not wanting to let her go. The warmth of her smaller frame in his arms felt safe, secure. A small act of reassurance that no matter his choice, things would be okay in the end.
Definitely.
They remained standing there quietly, refusing to let go. The moon watched from a distance as the two companions finally confronted their uncertain future. Their heartbeats synchronized as they closed their eyes, wishing to spend forever in that moment together. Hard cut.
Hard cut to concept art.
Yep, an explosion erupted in the distance. Both jumped in surprise, turning in the direction of the town. How dare you interrupt this loving moment?
Remember when you said he looks like he looked at an explosion? There you go.
There you go.
The
Yep,
hell
I'm
was
with you,
that?
Toad. Goddamn.
God damn. The hell was
Timing!
that?
They were about to kiss. Come on now.
We don't know that. Hey, yo.
I mean, in all honesty,
You
they
guys will all
probably
have.
would. Listen, in all honesty, they probably would not have. If this was like a romantic anime, this would have been like played out over several seasons. But come on now.
Is that smoke?
Wait, you don't think there's a fire, do you?
Whatever it is, we have to go help. Ignoro with me.
On it.
Both ran as quickly as they could towards Lamissa, the sounds of fire and destruction echoing through the forest. I
And
lived in
that's
hope, said the prince.
I live
said
in
the
hope,
priest.
said in priest. And that's the end of chapter 1. Gas hands.
Yep, excellent
Yay.
cliffhanger there.
Thank you. And again, Jessica, Alex, thank you both of you, not only for being on the stream, but so for all your help in helping me edit the script and making it all work.
Of
You're
course.
very welcome. I'm glad I was able to help.
Both of, I see the two reactions in chat that are very different. A cliffhanger? Go cliffhanger. Clap, clap, clap.
I mean, listen,
Yay.
it was a good cliffhanger. It's also, but you know, having a cliffhanger at all is frustrating.
So yeah, well, let's chat thing of the game. Give me your thoughts. Let me taste them. Let me touch them. Pain is essential to art. Hey God.
There you go. You see.
And this is why it's called subs. I love
Glad
what
you like.
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I was just saying. We're glad you like it.
Really glad you like it. Yes, definitely. Remember being in college when you first started writing the story? Okay, Lena, this story goes even earlier than college. I just can tell you, this started even earlier than high school. I started what would eventually become Symphony back in middle school, I want to say, back in Venezuela, in 2006.
When it wasn't even called Symphony.
Yep.
That
Yes.
actually reminds me. What was it called before it was Symphony?
It's
that reaction.
because a lot. Here's the thing. I'm not usually embarrassed by a lot. Yep, there it is. I'm not usually embarrassed by like a lot of like my older stuff. The name Broken Souls definitely was one of those.
I mean.
Oh no, Toads! It was not nameless. I'm just embarrassed by the name it had before.
Listen. Don't take this the wrong way. That is exactly what I would expect a middle schooler to come up with as far as a name for their.
Well, no, that was in high school. That name came from high school. Before that, it was Eclipse. And I know it had something earlier, but I forget what it was before Eclipse. I know it was like something else. You were in your anime edge boy era, Luis. Yes, I was definitely my weeb phase when I was working in early Symphony. You're not wrong.
Not wrong. Well, like, okay, listen though. This is going to be a hot take, and it's also going to be something that is also going to show my age. Middle school and high school are basically the same thing.
Yeah, I would say that there is like a middle point in high school where like you create the separation, but then late high school and early college also become the same thing, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There's always a transition period.
Yeah.
And we've got that the original name of Totes' project was Inertia.
See, But that's kind of dope, though. I cannot dig that. I cannot dig that. So yeah, given that we have now shown what we can so far, because chapter 2, the next chapter, will be the demo that we will put out once we do the Kickstarter to get funds for voice acting, backgrounds, and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a bit more time. If anybody wants to ask any questions, we can do a quick little Q&A just to see what people think, or to get any, or just to talk for a little bit before we call it for the day. Toad says, I do still feel attached to that name, but I don't know how much it fits anymore. That's also a thing, because Eclipse fit the previous version of Symphony, but Symphony of Broken Souls fits what it is now.
Well, I mean, in my experience, especially like stories and so forth, sometimes the title stays, sometimes it evolves depending on the story, where it goes, what your focus is on the story, and so forth.
There's a reason why some people actually recommend choosing the title as the last thing, if solely so that by the time you choose the title, it's something that feels like it properly fits and connects to it properly.
I mean, I feel that, but like, I don't know. I feel like that's I feel like you need to have something, even if it's just so that you have a direction to go with for that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yes, Caitlin, I remember those, and I remember that those designs actually made me feel like I really needed to up my art game because I wasn't really satisfied with what I had delivered at that point. Toad's being that's where he's sitting, choosing a name that properly fits what his story is as of right now.
Yeah, because here's the thing I've had. I almost feel like you should try to do like the first thing you should do after you come up with a concept is come up with a story, or like come up with a name. And then write the story, and then like go back and see if the name still matches what you have. Just because I think that the title sometimes gives you like how do I describe it? It gives you like the ability to focus on where you're going. You know what I mean?
Sure, it at least gives you a direction. If that direction changes throughout the story, you can adjust.
Yes, exactly.
Caitlin says, I still love the designs. I'm glad you like them. It's just a case of... it's necessarily the designs maybe that I'm frustrated with, but there's definitely a point in my art journey where I wasn't happy where I was adding art, and it took a lot of work for me to feel confident with my art again. And I am definitely confident in my art now. Yeah, name change sets a tone for the stage, and then the name changes as you go. Exactly.
Exactly, you get it.
So we can quickly show up. We can show off here real quick. It won't be too long. I'll just hit the skip button. It show off just the amount of work that's gone into also finishing like some of the earlier parts. Because as you can see, because some people may remember that earlier moments did not have Tiliana's colored sprites or some other aspects, and those aspects have been slowly being filled out since our last stream last year. So I'm just gonna skip through all this for a moment. Well, but we can keep talking in the meantime, unless there's something I want to specifically point out. Because yeah, as you guys can see, there's still a lot of work in progress to do, but me and the team are working our butts off on it, and I'm really thankful for the team that I have.
So many backgrounds, you understand
Yes.
the problem.
For example, this one.
Right? But that shot, though, is so cool.
Yeah, no, like, Sam did exactly what I needed him to do, and I'm super thankful for it. Now I have to pick up the pace, catch up, and pull off something that is able to respect this line of reserves.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you. Oh yeah, also, Lady Maura finally has color. This background finally has color as well. I can't wait to spend my $50 to buy this game from you. I'm not sure how much the game's gonna cost. I'm leaning probably closer to 20-ish, even though I feel like my game is worth like a $60 price tag as far as like my attachment for it, I understand that a lot of people don't see visual novels with with the respect that they truly deserve, and especially indie novels in indie visual novels. So it's a case of my brain goes, I probably, even though my heart wants to charge full price, um, I need to consider what price should I charge so that people actually buy it.
Yeah, like supply and demand type things.
Supply and demand, and also where the industry is at, because how do I want to say it? The industry is currently, as of 2025, in a really weird place where indies are getting a lot. Indies and at least double A quality games are getting a lot of love and attention, and a lot of what the triple A people are doing are so expensive and so wow, what the fuck ever, but they're losing a lot of that love and support from their audiences. Nintendo, even though Nintendo's selling the Switch 2 and it's selling really well, there's still a significant amount of people that are skipping the Switch 2 and the Nintendo games because of the pricing. Same with the PlayStation, Xbox, EA, Ubisoft, Bungie with its recent issues with Marathon, which could go into a whole podcast discussion here. So, but there's still, in the general consensus, more, even though indies and double A games are getting more love and acceptance as of now than triple A games, triple A games still kind of guide the industry. We are currently in what Castle Super Beast has described as a slow crash of the industry, but a slow crash, we don't know where it's going. So I need to consider where the industry is at the point of release. And as Toad says, pay respect to the game, to the people that worked on it, hopefully break even for my own wallet, but also make it accessible, and that the people that want to get it are able to buy it, and that the pricing doesn't become a point of contention.
Right, like being able to, like, the price tag isn't the reason why people aren't playing the game.
Correct. Like, there's people that are gonna look at this and be like, oh, Latino characters, women that don't have titties the size of trucks or whatever, not gonna buy because it's woke. Fuck those people. But there are people that, for them to access a game like this, it needs to be at a price point where they're comfortable with. And Toad says it. Wooly is right. We are reaching a critical mass soon that we don't know how long the industry is gonna last in the way that it's managing right now.
I will say this, just as somebody who's more on the side of like visual novels and like comics and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
that my experience has been not so much with visual novels straight up, but like definitely as far as comics go, like that has not slowed down at all. And if anything, I think the market's kind of starting to get oversaturated with like a bunch of different comics from like light novels and blah blah blah.
Well, are
Where
you
there's
referring to the big studios, or are you referring to like indie developers?
I'm talking about like the well, I'm specifically thinking of the anime type things where it's
Mm-hmm.
like they've got those really long, complicated titles that are that that are something ridiculous, and then they wind up being translated into comics, into games, into shows, and even though they're not great,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. And so, like, there's an oversaturation of that, and I think that may impact how people see the game if they see it as more of a light novel versus like a visual novel that's going to impact sales and so forth.
Yeah, like it's actually one of the reasons why I'm really happy I went with the designs I did now for the characters. Because as Saturn pointed out a few days ago, my old designs from back in my college years were very isekai-esque. And not on purpose, but that was the feeling they gave off. And if somebody saw that, they would immediately associate it with those tropes, with those type of characters and everything. As Toad says, the market is becoming very oversaturated in a big way. Anyone can make a comic now, so everything has less meaning when it's consumed. It's a content hellscape. I agree. And it's a situation. It's a tough situation because I don't want to be like, oh, we should be selective with who gets to make comics or not. But in general, and I feel like that's the case with all markets right now. Video games, anime, comics, all of the markets are so oversaturated. but both by people that want to make meaningful stuff and also by people that want to just make a quick buck. Who is who? Who the fuck am I to judge or say? I agree with that, Toads. We do need to be selective with what we give a platform to. We don't want to. For example, I don't want to give a platform to Adi Shankar. I quit Devil May Cry anime and I'm not going to hate watch it because that gives Adi Shankar more money and attention. So it's definitely a case of us needing to be selective with what we give a platform to with our wallet and our attention. Because there's a lot of people that will talk big shit like, oh, this is terrible, this is bad, and they will continue to watch it, continue to give it money, continue to give it a platform. And at that point, congratulations, you just did exactly what they wanted to. Thank you, I hate the concept of hate watching. Yeah, it's not something that like the only thing I think I properly have done where I forced myself to play it or watch something where I was miserable was Xenoblade 2, specifically because I wanted it to get good. I didn't hate watch it because I was like, oh yeah, give me that good garbage. It was because I wanted it to be good and because I love Xenoblade 1 so much, but it didn't deliver what I wanted.
I also just want to address a comment that Totes made before, just because Hollow Knight is like one of my favorite games ever. Yeah, as far as like indie games tending to be crafted with more love and having more longevity, that is definitely the case. It's like you look at a game that has been in development for years and years by a handful of people or even just one person, and you can definitely tell how much work has gone into it. With Hollow Knight, with I don't know if anybody plays Stardew Valley, with like a lot of those indie games, it's like you have to kind of go through, like they've been working on it for years, and even Symphony, like Luis has been, or Runner Guitar has been saying, like we've been going through this for so long. Yes. Totes gets it. Stardew Valley is great.
Essentially, then we're talking about this, and I also want to hear from you on this in a bit, Jessica, but I think it's also a situation where it really stands out how much bias and preconceptions can actually affect people getting into something. Because something that I believe I've heard a bunch in relation to Maxi's game, Hayseed Night, which fantastic game, full recommendation on it, is that a lot of people have refused to play it solely because the characters are furries. Even though Maxi deals with, them being furries and anthropomorphic characters in the story and deals with it super well, just because of the bias that people have against the idea of a furry. Even though it's not like a furry porno game or whatever, it is a well-written story, the characters are wonderful, the designs are wonderful, like everything about it is great, but because of the biases against that community, there have been people that have refused to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Toads also says, I have so much respect for the tenacious artist who goes and learns new skills to make their own vision come to life. That's a hard one. Getting people to look past their bias is a huge hurdle. Yes. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out right the fuck now. Give me a minute. If anybody wants to play a game that deals with politics, with characterization, with sexuality, with trauma, and with many other aspects of narrative and characters super good and handled with incredible voice acting, incredible art, amazing art direction, strong music, please go and play the Hayseed Night. It is the game made by our voice acting director, Maxi Molina. He does the voice direction on here. He does voice act one of the characters. He did an amazing job, and if you guys want to see a person put as much passion into their project as people have put into Hollow Knight, as I have put into Symphony, please, I beg of you, please go get not Hollow Knight. Please go get the Hayseed Night. Please go play the Hayseed Night. You owe it to yourself.
Yes,
I mean, I agree with that, and I agree with Hayseed about going to play Hayseed Night because it is a really incredible game. But on that note, also go play Hollow Knight because the more Hollow Knight, the faster Flipperphone will come out, hopefully.
I mean, we got a trailer recently. We got a tiny trailer recently.
Okay, listen, the Silk Song people are really freaking, like, I don't want to go into a whole rant on it, but just, like, they waited until the day after April Fool's to actually announce stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And
That.
everybody lost their fucking minds.
Mm-hmm. That also being said, Hollow Knight has such beautiful environments and music. Hollow Knight and Silk Song are both lessons in watching yourself. An issue that Jessica and Alex can give you, that I learned the hard way, is you need to be careful of your ambitions and your desires. Some of you may not know this, but Symphony started as essentially a multi-story visual novel where 4 storylines were going to be happening at the exact same time, kind of like 13 Sentinel, Sonic Adventure 2, and all that. And for as great as that idea could be, as a mainly single developer, like I do have a team, but it's mostly me carrying the project. It was going to be impossible. So it is a case of needing to. You can start with ambition, know when to reel it in, and know when to bring people in to reel you in.
I definitely agree with that. It's like there's only so much one person can do by themselves, and especially with like how complicated things can get when there's a whole bunch of things going on at once. It can be really, really complicated.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, especially when like you're learning new skills. Like I'm learning programming as I'm doing this. How the fuck am I gonna like this menu was not by me, this menu was Lay's. My story select menu was also Lay's. The only reason this exists because Lay's gave me a foundation to work upon. But if I had tried to figure out a foundation on my own, I'd be fucked.
Yep, we've got ambition and realistic expectation need to meet in the middle somewhere, or you're going to burn out due to frustration. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on what we've been saying so far as well.
Yeah, guys have gone through a lot of things here.
The ADHD brain, I apologize.
Welcome to the circle.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I guess going off of this last thing here about, having the passion and everything, but also needing to be realistic. And of course, you can't please everybody. People will have their opinions. You can't really cater to every single person. So it's like you kind of have to take some things. Because it's like everybody can say you're so great or you're so this and that or whatever. Some people will be haters. Like, you just like kind of, that's what I'm looking for. You can kind of just like absorb it and you take things with a grain of salt and you kind of just decide for yourself, like, what am I going to actually take into consideration or not? Because you'll drive yourself crazy trying to take every little thing to heart. So it's like kind of making some distance between things like that.
Definitely.
And yeah, chat all day about the creative process. Yeah.
Honestly, like
it is a process.
We could easily turn this into a podcast at this rate.
Honestly, yeah, like being a musician, artist, and I've done writing, I've done a lot of creative stuff. Like it's all the same cycle of just like the different skills, same process.
And as Toad says, to listen to the constructive criticism, because as mentioned before, there will be people that play Symphony and are gonna be mad that there is no porn, that there is muscular women, that the characters are Hispanic or whatever. I can't make my game expecting to please everybody, but I need to hear people that are willing to criticize it from good faith. What's wrong? Like Maxi.
Yeah, like it has to be like a place of good faith.
Maxi is a good example where like we first edited the script last year. We gave it to Maxi and he said this needs a bit more work. And he wasn't from a place of like, hey, fuck you, Luis, go fuck yourself, eh? It was from a place of, I know it is a lot of work. I know it's gonna be effort and time, it's gonna be worth it because we want this project to succeed. We want you to succeed. Please take the time to correct these editing errors. And we did. And I honestly do think that the script is a lot stronger thanks to those efforts.
Yeah, we basically went through, edited once, and then Max said, okay, cut back a little more. And so we had to go back and re-edit that entire chapter with those in mind. And it was a lot. And also, let's see, podcast I'm in. Having tried, okay, I'm gonna say having tried to do a podcast because I was trying to figure it out. I didn't publish anything and so forth. Just the editing on that is
Matt!
just insane.
Matt's
Hi.
here. Hey, Matt.
What's up?
I could make it. We are kind of at the end here.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming in the first place. I really appreciate it, dude. Hopefully you and your nephew had a good birthday, though.
Yes.
But yeah, all in all, I'm proud of where the project's going. I'm proud of where we're at. I'm proud of the effort that every member of the team has done. And I'm going to shout them out right now. For editing, we have our friend Kita Justice, Jessica, and Alex here as incredible editors and beta readers rather. Maxi, an incredible voice acting director, and even though we're still waiting to finish the script for the demo to get him to start casting, I've seen his work. I worked with him in Wolfskin Skirts, and I've seen his work in Hazy Night. He's an incredible voice acting director. I know he can make this work incredibly well. Giving Potato Potatoes, working on the programming for this, my star programmer, I would not be able to do this without their support. Tama Fry, Amber, Matt, Jessica, Spicy Mexican Boy Sam, all my background artists, Neferi, who helped us well with making the architectural design. Saturn, who has been making 3D models for the weapons. I am so thankful to every single person that has put their work to make Symphony better. This includes even some of the artists I've already somewhat commissioned to make, like some of the promotional art we'll be using in the future. It includes Neferio again, Ronya, Mura, Matt, Caddy. We have so many people that have put so much work into Symphony, and I want to thank every single one of them. There's still a long road ahead, but I say it with every single fiber of my body. Without the effort of those around me, Symphony would not be what it is now. I also have to shout out my friend Rice. She also did an illustration for the countdown along with Tama. I have so many people that have worked with me, but I need to shout them out all if I can. Toad says, I want you to know I brag about your project to other artists I know. What the fuck? You and your team are such a great example of creative humans working full tilt on a passion project. It helps that I have good people coming with me. And I think I wasn't expecting you to brag for me. That's so weird to think about, like people bragging for me. But yeah, no, like it helps to have people that want to see the project succeed, partly because they care about the project and partly because they see the potential. Like, I'm not sure if that makes any sense, because yes, the biggest person with the passion here is me, and this is not to talk down anybody, but it is my baby. But the passion of others and their dedication, if not for their same dedication and willingness to work with me and help me make a better project, it would not be what it is. I also want to give the floor to Jessica and Alex on that.
Drinking water.
I was gonna say, wow. I was gonna say, hey, I give you guys the microphone, and both of you are like, I don't want the microphone. Take it back.
I was waiting to see if Jess wanted to go first.
I can go first. I can get some water. But yeah, like I said earlier, I've been a part of this project for a while, and even before I was really like a part of it, I've seen it go through phases and change over time. And the first time I found out about it, it was like, at this point, oh god, how do I count years? It's
You and I,
been,
you and I met in 2012, so it's been 13 years since you've known about Symphony.
my God. I know it's more than 10. Yeah, 13 years. Yeah, that's a lot.
Sure is.
And yeah, I've seen it evolve, and along the way, I became a part of it. Because at first, I remember I was reading it like as like a script, like it was supposed to be originally just like a book, basically. It
Mhm.
wasn't even planned to be a visual novel or anything like that. And then along the way, you made the decision to change the medium, and it became this, and it's really, really cool. I'm really excited to see how it keeps evolving, and even when this is finished, there's still gonna be more. Symphony won't be done. There will be
Mhm.
more Symphony.
Yeah, like reminder for everybody, this is Symphony Book 1. We are planning, I'm personally planning at least 3 symphonies. Whether or not it becomes less or more than that, as of right now, I cannot say. My plan as of right now is 3 symphony books.
There will be more Symphony.
There will be more symphony.
I almost feel like you should call it Movement 1, Movement 2, or whatever it is.
That could work. That I have thought about it, but I was also thinking that could apply maybe even to something else I have in the future. I'm thinking, oh, no, I'll get back to you on that one when I have a bit more of a solid idea.
Yes, Matt is saying more.
More.
Yes. Just anything else?
That's pretty much everything I have to say. So if you want to jump in.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, I've known about the project maybe 10 years now because I remember I learned about it when Runner and I met
We met in
in
college, yeah.
college. Yeah. And I wasn't expecting to become a part of it, but I am happy to have the opportunity to help with editing and streamlining it, and also a place to just see how this evolves, because I, in some ways, feel like I'm getting to know more about the script and getting to know more about the story before everybody else does, which is really cool.
And I appreciate both of you being there throughout this process. It hasn't been an easy process, both in the novel version and now in the visual novel version. It's been an effort and a half. Changing mediums was a tough decision. It was a very tough decision, but I think it's a worthy one. And I think the fact that I've known you guys for this long is what made me feel, okay, these people are the right people for the project.
Aw, thank you.
I have an amazing team. As Toad says, nice scene. That's it. And when your vision is strong enough that others are feeling aligned with it, development happens. It gets simultaneously more difficult and more streamlined. You could say that again. like my sprite files. If I open Ignero sprite files, people in this chat would get a fucking aneurysm with how badly that file is made. Meanwhile, you look at the Tiliana files and it's like, oh, it's clean, streamlined, pristine, pure.
I mean, listen, there is something to be said for getting better at something the more you do it and the more things you do with it.
Definitely. And I also part of the reason why a lot of people, and I will actually add on to that myself, do not start with your main project. If you're ever going to make a game like this, a book, a song, whatever, don't start with your biggest, most passionate project. Start with something small to develop those skills, be it, even if you're not publishing it, even if it's just you in your room clacking at your keyboard. Start with something small and manageable to learn the skills, then apply it onto your passion project. After that, because you'll want to have the skills, be it in writing, composing, arting, programming, booty bouncing, whatever, you'll want the skills that you need to make it as good as you want it to be.
Well, actually, this is something that I saw a little bit ago and earlier this year, and I don't know how true it is because you never can trust the internet with like general factoids like this. But I do like to
I'm so sorry.
come up with
I just.
upgrade.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hello.
Uh, Context for everybody. Kelsey here, another great friend of mine, amazing artist, amazing streamer. She said she was gonna rate me after she finished streaming. She forgot to do that.
Whoops.
Glad you can make it still, buddy. Thank you for being here. Hopefully your stream went well.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Alex. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Right? It was a very funny interruption. But what I was saying was, as far as like your masterpiece type thing, at least according to what I saw, the reason why something was called a masterpiece is it was the project that was supposed to take you from being an apprentice to a master.
Mm-hmm.
So it was supposed to be like the best thing that you could possibly make to show like the people that were running the guilds and so forth that you were worthy of being a master. And so the whole idea is that every other project up until that point was practice, and that your magnum opus, your masterpiece, was supposed to be like this is showcasing just how good my abilities are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, okay, you're no longer just an apprentice, you are capable of doing stuff. And so I think relating to what Luis was saying, as far as not starting with like your masterpiece, it's like, yeah, you don't want to start on that when you don't have the skills already, because it's not going to come.
You can at least plan for it. Begin like planting the seeds for it. Like, oh, I might want my big magnum opus to be a girl with sword. Okay, start working on that. Start planning it. But then, as Alex says, like work on those other things to become a better apprentice. And once you have those skills, then do your girl with sword project that you always wanted to do.
Exactly.
Kelsey, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like the splash screen. The animation here was done again thanks to our star programmer Lays. And I'm just gonna hit the start button real quick. Like, I'm not gonna show the entire thing, just so that Kelsey, you and I can literally do a call if you want, so I can show you everything we have. Just a quick little preview here, because we have the glossary here. We have so much here that we have done. Again, thanks to my programmers, my artists. We have done a lot here for this project. So if you want one of these days, Kelsey, you and I can do a call and I can show you, or you can just watch the VOD of the stream, because I'll be uploading the stream later on YouTube. I don't know when, but hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, we're just gonna be skipping through everything here just to show Kelsey just a hint of everything that has happened in the past years since we saw each other last, I want to say. But yeah, while we are skipping through some of these scenes, thank you so much, Kelsey. As we're getting ready here to end, Alex, Jessica, is there anything you girls would like to promote or would like to shout out, or links you would like people to go follow?
I don't have anything specific for me other than Hasty Night, like we were talking about. Also, my own personal recommendations, but that's about it.
Pretty much, yeah. I just want to say to everybody that was here today, thank you for being here and chilling with us, and all the wonderful comments that you guys have given us. It's really, really awesome to hear from you guys.
Agreed. I'm so thankful to have everybody here. I will make actually one shout out. There's one thing you forgot to shout out, Jess.
Yeah.
You specifically. You.
Me.
You.
Oh, yeah, that's
Me.
right. That's right.
Hey, Jess, remember the other thing you're doing for Symphony besides editing?
Yes, I am also going to be singing the main theme.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
if you want,
yeah, it's on the way.
if you want to preview how good Jessica is at singing, I will tell you all right now. Get excited, because a new song is coming out for your band, Exigent, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's this month.
Yep, just in a
Yeah,
couple,
this
just in a few
month
days, I
now.
want to say.
It's a few weeks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna post the Blue Sky for Jessica's band right here, the Exigent band. So if you want a preview of Jessica singing to see the powerful voice she's bringing to Symphony's main theme, Embers of You, please check it out on. Please check out the band Exigent on Spotify, Apple Music, if wherever you can hear music, check them out.
Thank you.
Of course. Um, I would recommend Alex's stuff, but Alex, I don't think I have any of your links for your stuff.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a lot of stuff, so that's fine too.
Fair enough. All right, then in that case, we shall call it here, and we're gonna raid someone. We're gonna raid my friend Mimsy, who's apparently punching dragons out of the sky. So,
Nice.
as we raid Mimsy now, I'm going to say thank you everybody so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to show this project with you. Hopefully, the next stream doesn't take another year. Yeah. And as we go into the exit screen, you'll actually be able to hear a preview of the main theme of Symphony, Embers of You. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'm on guitar, joined today by the BookWormAlex and Jessica Elalouf. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Keep on rocking, everybody. So now, before I do that, let me actually rate Mimsy before I forget how to. All right. See you guys later, everybody.
See you.